You say time's never wasted, but I think I've wasted mine. 'Cause I've been sitting and waiting. You said you always learn, but you gain nothing by complaining.
Well, good morning.
But I said
I don't know. I love the part this morning when Ray Stachik just nonchalantly said, and maybe an isolated tornado or two today in the forecast. Some inclement weather, they say, we could be dealing with today. But he said it was just such normalcy.
Yeah, like a passing shower. Won't ruin your Saturday afternoon.
No,
Maybe a passing shower.
Listen, it might blow your roof off, but it'll be isolated.
Yeah, don't cancel the barbecue for that.
Anyway,
Matter of fact, having people over will probably help you put the roof back together.
And then I do, right, I mean, have an Amish Saturday. Bring everybody over. Okay, so we're going to get an update, right, from Samantha today, Davey? Where is he? We will get an update today from Samantha Colosimo. I think yesterday afternoon, was the vote on the whole flag thing, the pride flag. I imagine that has passed. Their override, right? It's an override of the mayor's veto.
Yes.
And it's not about, trying to explain all of this. It's for the mayor. It's not that he is anti-pride flag or anti-gay in any way. He feels that state flags are the only flags that should fly. That is maybe a Ukrainian flag or an Irish flag if there's some sort of a commemoration.
I watched it, Bill.
You did watch it.
Yeah.
So they overrode the...
Yes. The only one who made the comment during one of the counselors was our good friend Joe Beatrice.
Okay.
Saying that he was not for it, and some applause in the crowd. A lot of people in the crowd, but no public comment. And Joe Beatar was up on moderating the meeting because Rocco Garuzzi wasn't there.
Okay. And I
thought there was going to be some fireworks, so I turned
You
it on.
tuned it in.
I was
You
with somebody,
were
and I
there,
said,
yeah.
"Oh, sorry, but I got to go watch the Utica Common
That's
Council
right.
meeting."
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "Oh, how come?" I said, "It's a special meeting. I just want to see if there's going to be any fireworks."
Yeah.
So
Did she kick you out of bed?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
I love Smitty's labeling of certain people as a good friend.
Yes, with a good friend.
Well,
I enjoy it.
Joe Beatrice. Yeah.
Joe Beatrice is always there whenever we reach out for him, and
So to give you an idea where we're going to cool off just a little bit, believe it or not, do you know the high on Monday is partly cloudy and 67. So that'll be a little bit of relief from the humidity. 80s all weekend, but Monday 67, and then we're back into the mid 70s, upper 70s, really for the next week or so, mid to upper 70s. So this heat wave, if you can call it that, is going to be coming to a close by the end of the weekend.
This is not a complaint. It's an observation. This is not a complaint. Because
Okay.
I like the weather this time of year.
Okay.
The last 2 days, the humidity has been oppressive.
It is, and while it's nothing compared to what they deal with, like Steve Houck was saying in Florida or Myrtle Beach this time of year, for us it's difficult. Like,
Is it that much worse in Florida?
Oh yeah.
I mean, because when it's 87 degrees and the humidity is 91%.
Well,
I literally
imagine-
got out of the shower yesterday and my whole forehead was just sweat beads.
Same thing you will get in Florida and at this time of year in Myrtle Beach, depending on where their humidity level is. But just think of it 97 and that humidity level. That's kind of where they're at.
so my aunt is here, native Roman.
Yeah.
She's here visiting. She resides in Arizona now. When she left last Sunday, it was 111 degrees. So we were with her last night, and she said, "This is nothing to what I deal with."
I just have to say, again, that's a dry heat, though.
No,
right?
it's not.
Arizona's not?
Oh, Arizona is.
Arizona's what
But
he's
Florida.
saying.
Oh, she's from Arizona? Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
We were at 114 degrees at the Hoover Dam,
right,
and you have no sweat,
right,
because it just evaporates off you, and the humidity is low. It is different. It's still very, very hot.
It is. I was in Vegas,
like putting your head in the oven hot, but it's hot.
I was in Vegas. This was maybe 10 years ago, with some friends. We went out to dinner. Well, I say some friends. I was married at the time, and we went out with another couple. And we went out to dinner, and I don't know why I brought this with me. As a matter of fact, I was ridiculed for it, but I was not sweating wearing it. It was 96 degrees when we left. I had black dress pants. I had a long sleeve button down dress shirt, but I rolled it up, so it was almost like a short sleeve.
He was wearing a New York Mets jersey. Just a minute.
No,
one of the black ones. Yeah.
No sweat. And I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so hot. It was warm. Yeah. I was warm, but it was 96, and that's how I was dressed, not sweating.
And listen, we've had this when it gets humidity like we had yesterday, and we're going to have today, and probably tomorrow and Sunday. It is a bit oppressive. It just feels warmer, and you feel sticky. You just feel like
you feel gross. Yeah. That's why you're showering at 3:00 in the afternoon after you already showered in the morning.
Yes. I want to give you a couple of interests. Apparently, there is a rare bacteria, species that has been located and is rare for this area, but it has been located in Herkimer County.
Okay.
And it is a rare species of bacteria that causes Lyme disease and has been found usually only in the upper Midwest. In fact, they did testing throughout New York State and were able to find it nowhere else. They did their testing throughout Herkimer County and found it nowhere else except for this part of, and they don't actually say where in Herkimer County. They don't do that. I don't know why. It's kind of like rabies, same thing.
I still don't understand the logic.
This happened last June. A resident of Herkimer County was diagnosed with Lyme disease caused by the rare bacterium. New York State Health Department officials descended on the wooded property and found the Mayoni bacteria, is what they call it, in 10 ticks. The health department then ran genetic tests on 1,500 ticks that had been collected from 23 other counties over the previous 5 years. None carried the rare bacterium, which has the scientific name Borrelia mayoni, which, by the way, I've put on my burger before, and it is good. Kind of sounds like a condiment, doesn't it? The only place it was found is that single property in Herkimer County, which
they're not telling you.
We don't know exactly where. It's Joey Ballone's house up there in town of Russia. I don't know. We don't know where, but apparently it infects these mosquitoes, and it is
the ticks or the mosquitoes
or the ticks. I mean, and it is worse than. It is worse than the deer tick type Lyme disease that we're dealing with. I don't know. It's a real mystery how it got here. Well, I'll tell you, it probably got here in a bag of mulch or on lumber that was brought in, or maybe somebody was moving from there to here, and in their moving van there was a vehicle that had a tick with this bacterium, and we travel. That's the problem. So I now just remember this day, June 12th, Friday, June 12th, 2026. Remember this day when we're talking about this rare condiment bacterium in Lyme or in ticks that cause Lyme disease. Today, it's rare. It's only in one property in Herkimer County, just like the stink bug was. Remember the stink bug? What is that? They call it a stink bug. It's Asian. No need to worry. It's only been found on one property in Lewis County. Everything's all right. You'll be just fine. Yeah. Now you deal with hundreds of them, if not thousands of them every year, all over the area. And how about those little red flying bugs that are all over the place?
Yeah.
They're populating. I'm going to tell you something. I got to tell you, it's like Hustler magazine just sponsored a bunch of insects, because these are having sex everywhere. There's one on top of the other. Sometimes there's three of them Like, what is going on here? I'm thinking. And they are recreating like crazy. They're all over the place.
Oh, boy.
And you wait another 5 years, they're going to be everywhere. Those little red, maroon-looking bugs. So, listen, I'm not trying to, the sky is falling. However, maybe they caught this, and maybe it won't spread, but boy, it could. Just let you know.
I'm still puzzled by why they don't identify the exact location.
I don't know why, and I guess because, I don't know. It's like saying, hey, you're in school and you find out so-and-so has lice. Well, they would never tell you because everybody would pick on the kid who had the lice. But everybody kind of knew, right?
Yeah, I mean, so all of a sudden there's one kid in the class who's out for a week, and somebody in the classroom has lice, but the only kid missing
we can't tell you who did it,
Bobby.
But could you get Bobby's homework?
Bobby comes back with his hair buzzed. I mean,
oh Lord, the things we do. Okay, here's some other news for you. While the World Cup is going on, bars in New York State, including here, can remain open and serve until 4 a.m.
Really?
Yes. The governor has passed that law, or modified that rule with the liquor authority. So while the World Cup is happening, bars can still. Now there are some bars that'll be like, I ain't doing it because we can't find bartenders to stick around till 11 o'clock.
Right.
I mean, think of the places that used to be open till 2, and now by 10 p.m. they're like, sorry, we're shutting down.
Right.
It's a post-COVID weird world we live in.
Well,
and I guess I get it. I don't know. I guess I don't get it. Davey, don't go away because I have something for you. Do you have more to add to that?
Well, I was just going to say, I think I don't know. I'm going to sneeze again.
Okay. Oh, Lordy. Oh, he's spreading the sneeze bacterium. There's number 2. Bless you.
I don't know if it's the chicken or the egg, but you say it becomes essentially you can't find a bar to go to that's open till 2 a.m. in a lot of cases anymore. But the bartender doesn't want to stay because she's not or he's not making any money.
Right, because people aren't there. But it is hard to get employees today. It's restaurants and bars. I talk about it all the time. Okay, Davey, I wanted you here for this because the Bills mini camp, they're reporting on Keon Coleman and saying he is looking really good.
He's lost a little bit of weight.
Right, he's looking really good.
He was
he's
tiny to begin with.
Performing very, very well.
I think it's more a little bit of more muscle.
The Bills opened up their mandatory minicamp on Tuesday, and Coleman was one of the standout performers during the indoor practice. But physicality wasn't how he won. The former second-round pick showcased his improved quickness and speed, making a pair of very impressive catches during an 11-on-11 team drill. Okay. So just a little something for you there.
Well, maybe he's been challenged and he's going to respond positively.
I think, and boy, that's going to make the Pagula, it's going to make him look pretty good. Like, this was all part of my design. Yeah. I was going to humiliate him in public and call him out while firing the coach that didn't really deserve to be fired. And look at how it's worked. Coleman is performing really well. But it's one thing to perform in minicamp, another thing to perform on Sunday.
Right. And it's another thing to perform in the playoffs.
It is. This weekend, what do you think? Will the New York Knicks finish it off in Phoenix? Or will they, where are they playing?
San Antonio.
San Antonio, sorry. Or will they come back to Madison Square Garden?
I do think there's a really good chance the Knicks finish it off. I'm sure they'd rather win it at home, but I'd have to imagine the Spurs have got to be awfully defeated.
You want to end it now. You want it over with.
You could adopt the attitude of, look, hey, if we can
only win 3 games
against us, we can come back against them.
Yeah.
But that's got to be deflating to be up by almost 30 points on the road.
And they say no team has ever come back being down 3-1.
No,
right?
3-0.
3-0.
No one's ever come down 3-0.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But no one ever came back at 29 with a 29-point deficit a championship game. Remember, no one ever came back from 3-0 in Major League Baseball. But the Red Sox still did it.
Yeah.
So, records are made to be broken. Anyway, One more, and then anyway, they play Saturday night in San Antonio, and if the Knicks lose, they will come home to New York. Where I got to tell you something, part of this this violence that's been happening in New York with New York fans on Spurs fans and ripping jerseys off and beating somebody until they're bleeding. What a black eye on just New York and society, right?
I completely agree. Did you see
Terrible.
what they did to the Spurs team bus? They were
awful.
Attacking it in front of it, punching it, throwing things at it, kicking it.
What do you think? At what point were you taught this is how you're supposed to act? I mean, and in this case, I kind of am with Mandami on this, where they implemented the 10 block radius and stopped the watch party. I don't think these people can handle it. Did I just say I'm with Mandami? I think I am in this case. I don't think fans in New York can handle it right now. And I just don't get it.
So, well, let me just push back a little bit and say, because I don't think I can agree with him.
Right.
Is the idea...
I get it.
Is the idea nobody can enjoy the watch party because some people are going to be bad and we don't want to arrest them?
Well, the idea is in the name of public safety, we have no choice. And it is that kind of that whole thing. You know what? It happened in elementary school. I'm sorry, Joey over here ruined it for everybody. But it's beyond that. I think it is in the name of public safety. And I mean, this is ridiculous how these people were acting. Now, are they going to do it at Bryant Park? There's a good chance it could happen there, or in Central Park, or wherever else the game is being shown. But the fact that you kind of have a responsibility to protect fans of San Antonio, you kind of have that responsibility. You have they were egging as the players were walking in. They're throwing eggs at the players. This is ridiculous.
I have to see how many people were arrested. I don't think a lot. I didn't hear a ton about
and
this.
even that. We are the oxymoron state, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we complain. We cannot tolerate this violence. We will not tolerate it. But if you do it, we're going to arrest you and then give you an appearance ticket, and you're on your way. You don't even spend any night in jail. Willie Waffle's coming up in a second, and there's a new, by the way, Larry David comedy special. I think he was practicing for it on the court at the Knicks game the other night. We'll get in. Yeah, get rid of that for me if you could. Thank you. Quick break, and then Willie Waffle coming up in a second. And then I had a chance to watch Pressure, which is the World War II movie with about
Fraser?
Ike, and Fraser plays Ike. And I kind of felt like, I don't know how that works. I don't see Ike when I look at Brandon Fraser, but he did a tremendous job. The movie is, I think the movie's really good. We'll see what Willie has given it. I think he already did that, but we'll ask again. Coming up, hold tight to WIBX.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton. When you've worked hard to build something meaningful, protecting it should be part of your plan. At Hilton Estate and Elder Law, we help families navigate the complexities that come with significant assets, especially estate taxes and long-term care considerations. We break down the implications, explore smart strategies, and help reduce future tax exposure and nursing home costs. Because no two families are alike, every plan is tailored to fit your situation.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
The universal truth of women's shoes, the cuter they are, the more they hurt.
You have to put your best foot forward, and if your best foot is an ugly shoe, oh my goodness.
Lisanne thought she had to choose between looking good and feeling good until she got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now I can wear the shoes that I've picked out because I like the way they look, not because they were comfortable.
Good Feet relieved her pain and her fashion dilemma. Stop by and try them for yourself. We're located in New Hartford on Commercial Drive across from Hobby Lobby.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. You can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. Spain is currently trading at over 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out $580 if they win soccer's biggest prize. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TURF to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
AmeriQ Credit Union believes that real connections matter today more than ever. At 200,000 members strong, we want to create a meaningful connection that makes you feel like you belong. In person, online, or anywhere in between, AmeriQ connects you with the right solutions to help you succeed, technology to make banking even easier, and the people you need to achieve financial success. Open an account today at ameriq.org. Membership eligibility is required, insured by NCUA.
Constantino won the debate, and the moment everyone's talking about proved it. Trump-endorsed businessman Anthony Constantino delivered a commanding performance against career politician Robert Smullen. Constantino talked about creating American jobs, building a company with over 1,000 employees, and standing up to Democrat boycotts and political attacks, all while self-funding his campaign to serve the people of New York's 21st District. Smullen appeared angry, defensive, and unprepared, but the most talked about moment came at the end. After praising Smullen's military service in his closing remarks, Constantino walked over to shake his hand. Smullen refused, turning his back in front of the entire audience. Constantino later said, "If he can't shake my hand, how can he work with people in Washington?" The contrast couldn't be clearer. On June 23rd, vote for Anthony Constantino. He's Trump-endorsed, the job creator, outsider, and fighter. He's nobody's man but yours. Early voting starts June 13th.
I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Remember, tomorrow is the beginning of early voting. You can go to probably your best bet is to go to your Board of Election website. It'll give you all the locations where you can vote. I do think the way early voting works is you can vote anywhere. Maybe I'm wrong.
I believe you're correct.
I think you can vote anywhere. You don't have a specific
in your county.
Yeah. I don't think there's a specific. Although, how would they do that? Because every township and every district has a different. If you're from Utica, you have a different congressperson than and a different race than somebody in New Hartford. So I don't know how they do it, but I do think that is the case. I think you can vote in any of the locations in your county.
I haven't early voted yet.
I
think it's so. Was it sparse? It's very it's not like Election Day where there's lines, right?
Well, when I voted during COVID, no, it was after COVID, early voting. But when we voted, there was a line, but it was new. It was the first time they had done the early voting. So Willie Waffle, he knows all things.
The other thing with early
political,
voting is, I think they said if you go on the first day, you can go every day after. Right?
I think so. Yeah. As long as you're voting for the right person.
Only if you're Democrat, right?
Yeah.
I'm teasing.
Right.
I'm teasing.
Willie, good morning. How is it? Do you have to go to a specific location? They're only I'm thinking Herkimer County, for instance. The only early voting location is in Little Falls. I think that's the only location.
I thought it was specific locations too. Now, I actually vote by mail. I actually get my ballot and vote early by mail.
Yeah.
But I know down here. I mean, I live down in the Binghamton area, down in Broome County, and I could have swore there were specific early voting sites that you can go to.
There are
leading up to Election Day.
But I think it's open. Any of those are open in the county. So can you imagine? Herkimer County is a large county, very tall. It goes way up into the North Country, and they have to come. I'm pretty sure they have to come down to Little Falls to vote early.
All right, so this is Oneida. I'm sorry, Willie. Oneida County.
So you have actual information.
If you wish to vote on Election Day,
versus surmising like Willie and I.
It says if you wish to vote on Election Day, you must go to your assigned poll site.
Yes.
So that would also be an indication to me that
early voting day is different.
Yes.
And go to the Herkimer County website and see how many early voting locations they have. I thought in the beginning they only had one. Maybe they have another one. But anyway, Willie, your thoughts on this Larry David HBO comedy series special, I believe, that's coming up. Have you seen anything on this?
I remember when it was first announced. It's supposed to be like Larry through history, like different historical events where they're doing the Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of improvisational take on it.
Okay.
And I want to say it's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were trying to time it to be around July 4th and the celebration of America and all of that. I will say this though, and I'm a big Larry David fan, but I feel like when he's strayed away from Seinfeld or Curb Your Enthusiasm, it hasn't gone as well as when he does those two things. I just think that those are his wheelhouse. That's really coming from his soul. So I don't know what to expect from the new HBO special, but we'll find out soon.
Yeah. Here is, how long is this thing? This is only 30 seconds. Let me play this if I can get it to play. Here we go.
We threw a rod. Get comfortable.
What?
We got to wait right here until they fix the mechanical issue.
I got to sit in the middle for 5 hours? Are you crazy?
This is the airplane experience.
It's not a good experience. Bring your fishing rod. Oh, yeah. You got a net. I'm going to use my hand. This trip is going to be so great. So great.
What's going to be so great?
It's a great burden to have to leave our families. We don't want to go.
Alfred is the largest mill owner in Western New York.
We employ over 120 children.
Are you for children working at the mill?
I dislike children so much it really doesn't bother me what they do.
It is called an almost history of America. You're right. Unhappiness and almost history of America. You're right, though. When he kind of strays away, his style is different. It's a unique style of comedy. So, yeah. All right. And I'm going to start with a question. Will you have a question? Then we'll get into the stuff that we have here.
Okay.
Wayne has a question for Willie. Wayne, you are on with Willie Waffle. Good morning.
Okay, I couldn't hear you at first.
Sorry.
How are you, Willie?
I'm doing fine. What's going on?
That was his question. You only get one question. Sorry. We'll talk to you later.
Done. I got it right.
Big fan of yours, Willie. I went to see the Michael Jackson movie or documentary, and I loved it. I just feel that they've cut it short, and I wanted to know, do you think that they're going to have like a part 2 and 3 and like show his whole life, or did they just cut it off and all they wanted to get across was what they got across?
This is the family one that was out?
Yeah. Yeah, this is called Michael. This was a film. It was not a documentary, but a film about Michael's life with Michael's nephew actually playing Michael Jackson. And Wayne, you actually picked up on what really did happen in the sense that this was supposed to be a longer movie. This was supposed to be the whole life of Michael Jackson, from, being famous or becoming famous to, growing up in Indiana, then with the Jackson 5, then moving on and having his solo career. And then they were supposed to get into the trial out in L.A. And the controversies that he had with the accusations of child molestation. But that part of the movie got edited down. They decided to edit it out and to end on more of a high note of him kind of making that comeback from the accident with the Pepsi commercial and really, kind of conquering the world. And that's why at the end of the movie, I don't know if you caught it, they said, like his story will return or something like that. They think they're going to bring out that part 2. I just highly doubt it will ever see the light of day. I just don't think that's the movie most people want to see. I mean, if you want to see more about that, there is a documentary. It's on Netflix. It's called Michael Jackson.
Janet
The Verdict.
wasn't in it though.
No,
nothing about Janet in it.
Some of the family members don't want to be portrayed in the movies and don't want to have anything to do with it. So the Michael movie that's in theaters that did very, very well. I mean, it's a decent movie, but it was really produced and kind of brought to light from the family. So it was their point of view, and not all the family members wanted to participate. Janet is one of them who said, "Don't put me in the movie. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, because
leave me alone."
When you see what happened, and I watched a little bit of the Netflix documentary, and you remember what the accusations were, and Michael Jackson saying, "What's wrong? It's nothing sexual. It's love. I asked if he would sleep with me in my bed because it's love. It isn't sex. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with
Michael,
me?
is that you,
What's
Michael?
wrong with me
Michael.
sleeping with Macaulay? What's wrong with that?"
You know,
that is exactly what he said.
No, you're right. I watched this last night. I watched episode 1 of the
Couldn't believe it.
documentary.
Like, oh my God.
There's a documentary.
It is so mind blowing. Yeah, and the way they get
play rock,
behind the
paper,
scenes.
scissors, and oh my God, it's just like
Jackson Twister.
all right, Wayne, I'm letting you go. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we are all over the place today, and I love it. Will, do you want to add to that? I mean,
No, I just, I think the documentary, I thought the documentary was fascinating. I mean, I think you want to see parts 2 and 3 when you get a chance. I mean, the way they get behind the scenes, the way that you're getting almost like that police cam footage as they're entering the house and they're going into these secret areas with all this stuff that just gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Well, you know what? I thought that, well, listen, maybe there's something wrong. Well, clearly there's something wrong with Michael Jackson, or was, and he truly did. He was like a child, and it was like, it wasn't sexual. But then you find out there's Hustler magazines, there are pornos being given to Culkin, there's alcohol. Jesus juice is not alcohol. It's wine, Michael. It's Jesus juice.
Well, and very controversial books with images that you don't share with everybody.
Yeah.
I just
bad.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that had been surmised over the years is that was Michael somehow abused and raised to think that this is all quote unquote normal.
Yeah. Craziness.
Right.
Really bad.
Watching that last night, Willie, I think you hit the nail on the head. I had the thought in my mind, I think he went through this as well.
Yeah.
Might have. And
that's not an excuse.
You know that there's an organization called the Man-Boy Lovers Association, and it is an organization that believes, look it up, it's real.
I'm not putting that on my
real.
computer.
It's real.
And they believe it's okay for prepubescent sexual contact with adult males. They believe with males and males. Boys and men, right, Willie? I mean, they believe this. This is how they operate.
Yeah, you've probably heard them referred to as NAMBLA.
NAMBLA,
the
National Association of Man-Boy Lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on. I did want to throw one more thing at you that's not on today's list, but
go ahead.
I got to tell you, somebody had a bootleg version of Pressure. And in between the Hispanic ads for this gambling thing and the guy getting up and going to get popcorn or going to the bathroom in the middle of the movie, in between all of that, the bad audio and the bad video, I watched Pressure, and it was really good.
Yeah, Pressure's a good movie. I thought Adam Scott is really the guy that shines. I mean, Brendan Fraser is the name in the movie, but Adam Scott is the guy who played the meteorologist. And those discussions between them and the intensity between them over whether or not they should invade on which day is amazing.
Watch it; it's really good. And then we're out of time. I can't even believe it. Disclosure Day, yes or no? What do you think? 5 seconds.
3 waffles.
3 waffles. All right.
I'm a yes.
Spielberg's Disclosure Day, Aliens, all of that. Gotta watch it. All right, Willie. Enjoy the weekend. I'm sorry. Thank you.
See you soon.
Thanks, Willie Waffle.
Bye.
WIBX Utica Road, W295
From the W.B. Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
President Trump says the war with Iran has ended. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Telling a rally in Georgia he called into last night for Republican candidate for Governor Burt Jones.
They have agreed never to have a nuclear weapons, something that we insisted on. That was the whole purpose. That was 95% of it.
But Iran's foreign ministry says it's not a done deal yet, and they won't compromise on their red lines in any agreement. And Fox's Doug Luzader reports.
It looks like the U.S. military had to once again come to the defense of ships in the region. According to a senior U.S. official, it appears Iran has attempted to strike commercial ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz tonight. U.S. forces shot down 2 Iranian one-way attack drones. Traffic flow through the strait continues, but the president did pull back from another round of airstrikes on Iran that were set to happen last night. He called them off after saying once again that a deal was at hand.
Should get done over the next few days. We'll probably have a signing maybe in Europe, and it's a great thing.
Oil prices are down more than 3%. Stock futures are rising on this potential deal the morning after the Dow surged more than 900 points, gaining back what was lost in Wednesday's big sell-off. And today, one stock will get launched. SpaceX.
And what is expected to be the biggest public offering of stock ever. $75 billion worth of shares. We're expecting a share price of $135. Take it or leave it. That's going to be the number. Ticker SPCX. But the big headline, if all goes according to plan, CEO Elon Musk could become the world's first trillionaire.
Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis. A win for President Trump. A federal appeals court's ruled his new global tariffs, 10%, are likely legal under the statute he imposed them, undoing a lower court's block. The new tariffs were levied after the Supreme Court angered the president, blocking bigger tariffs, ruling he exceeded his authority. America's listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-809-7171. That's 800-809-7171.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
Controversy keeps swirling around national intelligence.
Two sources told Fox President Trump turned to the head of the CIA, John Ratcliffe, to get a recommendation for a new director of national intelligence. Ratcliffe recommended the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton.
Jay Clayton's an incredible talent, head of Sullivan and Cromwell. He was head of the SEC. He was now Southern District. I mean, nobody has better credentials.
The president's temporary DNI pick, Bill Pulte, got several lawmakers up in arms because he has no intel experience. But sources say Pulte is expected to stay on the job for a while and cut the size of the office. Then, when and if Clayton's confirmed, he'll take over a scaled-down ODNI. In Washington, Jill Nato, Fox News.
Many lawmakers are so upset over that, Congress rejected a 3-week extension of a key provision of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act.
Bill Pulte is not qualified to be the acting director of national intelligence.
House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries, FISA Section 702, allowing warrantless spying on foreign subjects expires tonight. Some Republicans are upset about that, worried about national security without it as the World Cup starts. Team USA plays its first match tonight against Paraguay in Los Angeles. The tournament started yesterday. Mexico beat South Africa. South Korea topped Czechia on the ice.
The Carolina Hurricanes hosting the Vegas Golden Knights with the series tied at 2 games apiece. And the Hurricanes kept their momentum going from Game 4.
They score! And it's Jordan Staal again on the tip-in to tie it at 1.
The call on ABC, Jordan Staal with the goal in the first period. Andrei Svechnikov had 2 goals for Carolina as well as they come away with a 4-2 victory. They take a 3-2 lead in the series. Tony Genualdo, Fox News.
Game 6 Sunday night. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have cloudy skies, 71 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM News. Time is 7:05. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Well, early voting for the June primary gets underway tomorrow, and the State Attorney General's office will be running its election protection hotline. If you have a problem, you can call during the early voting period, which runs through June 21st between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. That's when the hotline is open. A representative will be available to help people troubleshoot issues they could be facing, whether they're voting in person or using an absentee ballot. Primary day itself is June 23rd. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll begin our Republican primary debate with the two candidates running for the 119th Assembly District. That seat currently held by Marianne Buttonshaw. We'll be joined by Dan Fusco and Mike Gentile in studio. You can send us a comment or a question via the WIBX 950 mobile app, or you can do that on YouTube as well. Bill, speaking of early voting, I'll mention, and you asked this question last hour, in Herkimer County, there is just the one location for Democrats and Republicans. Early voting the 13th through the 22nd.
The thing about that Herkimer County part is you literally, it's like the old days. All right, we're going to pack a lunch, we're going to get in the vehicle, and we're going to drive to early vote. Because if you're way up in the top of Herkimer County, a drive to Little Falls to vote is a pretty long drive.
It's 760 East Monroe in Little Falls.
Yeah, which is the municipal building, I think.
In Oneida County, there are 3 locations, and let me pull them up. It's the MVCC Alumni College Center on Sherman Drive in Utica, the New Hartford Town Hall, which is on Clinton Street, New Hartford. The old Gander Mountain is what that is, right? And the South Rome Senior Center on Ridge Street in Rome. If you have questions, you can contact the Oneida County Board of Elections, 798-5765. A businessman who stole more than $90 million from investors will be serving more than a decade behind bars. A judge sentencing 74-year-old Bert Marshall to spend up to 12 years in prison, carrying out a Ponzi scheme that lasted more than 3 decades.
These people got terribly screwed.
Yeah. He filed for bankruptcy in 2023, reporting $92 million in debt. Most of it was owed to the nearly 1,000 investors in his fund. So far, his victims have received just 4 cents on the dollar of what they were owed.
So these deals, it always depends on the next deal, because they spend the money, right? They spend the money they get, this guy, and then if it isn't for the next deal to be able to throw a bone at the first 10 investors, he doesn't have the money left to throw the bone. So you got to keep getting, and this always comes to a head when he runs out of investors. Now There's no more money, and all the investment never happened. Terrible.
Well, I wonder.
Terrible, as they say in the NBA. Terrible.
I'll save this for outside of the news. I shouldn't be asking questions, I guess, during the news. Let's get to a Weather Center forecast with some severe weather on the horizon.
Isolated. Don't blow it out of proportion. Here we go. Race stage. Here it is.
Not only hot and humid, but the outlook is for severe weather midday into the afternoon and evening hours. Thunderstorms erupting here as we push on through later this morning into the afternoon. And again, some of these storms out ahead of the front could contain strong damaging winds and hail, potentially some isolated tornadoes. Temperatures will be in the middle 80s with the heat index making it feel a little bit hotter. Tonight, clouds early, front through with clear, comfortable later, upper 50s. North Country a little bit cooler. Great looking Saturday, sunshine 85. Likely showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy 71 at 7:09. All right, from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk. It is Boxing Hall of Fame induction weekend. As a matter of fact, if you check out his Facebook page, our man Uncle Smitty was in Canastota yesterday getting photos with Sugar Ray Leonard and Antonio Tarver, among others.
Right.
Yeah, very cool.
Of course, the big...
you could be there at the Turning Stone this weekend and never know who you're going to run into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or in Canastota as well.
Of course, the tickets we gave away for Fight Night, that's tonight.
Yes, things kick off kind of tonight over at Canastota.
Well, they've been going on through the week, but yeah. Yes.
And then the big parade is on Sunday. All right, the Mets got a win yesterday, helped by a solo home run from Juan Soto in the 7th inning. They snap a 2-game slide, and they do pick up the victory. Up next, the Mets will host the Braves at Citi Field. The series that starts tonight. The Yankees visit the Blue Jays tonight. They've won 4 straight and 5 of their last 6. The Knicks will play Game 5 on the road of the NBA Finals in San Antonio tomorrow. Another win for the Knicks means their first championship since 1973. Stanley Cup Finals, the Hurricanes now lead 3-2. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights 4-2 last night. Jordan Staal got another goal. He has a goal in every game of this series and 6 goals in the past 5 games. Incredible. This weekend, we want to wish luck as well to Oriskany and Notre Dame. They're playing in the semifinals today. If they win today, they play for a state title tomorrow. Good luck, boys.
That's awesome. I want to bring in Samantha Colosimo Testa. She's with us right now. Sam, good morning. First of all, there was an override of the mayor's veto, and it was basically along party lines, and the pride flag will be flying over the city hall after all. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, and somebody sent me a Facebook post that Heather Wazlewski posted, and it literally talks about, being for political affiliation of what flag you're going to fly, and it's exactly what SCOTUS said not to do. So again, at the end of the day, I mean, again, if you look at, and one of the things that I think that the mayor was very specific in his override is that it delineates between what Boston did and then what the city of Utica is doing. And it really, again, goes back to subjectivity. So like I said yesterday, when, I had reached out to, an attorney and they sent me back, saying that the city could be liable because even if you vote yes for every flag, they could actually still bring up a continuous liability for the city if somebody were to challenge that.
The problem you have is you have people who specifically will challenge something to cause the city a legal problem in order to make a point. And what they use to challenge could be very offensive. And of course, the city would say no, and they're like, you can't say no, and we're going to sue you over it. I think there's a threat that could happen.
What it's going to
yeah.
It's exactly what's going to happen. And again, it's very surprising because if you look at, again, party affiliation, here's another curious thing that I was, again, wondering. If the Common Council has to approve a flag, right, and we don't have a council meeting, are we going to be liable for not having a special meeting to approve that flag for a certain day by a certain time? So, again, it goes back. There was a number of things that were wrong with it. And it's not even about party affiliation. Under the impression, and I think, Councilman Beecher hit the nail on the head, when they originally were passing this legislation, they thought it was strictly what the city of Boston was doing. And again, when they realized that it wasn't, because we didn't have any discussion on this.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't care if it was in committee for 2 months or not. They never actually held a meeting on it and said, "Hey, Judge, what is your, our council attorney, what is your opinion on this?" Or Corporation Counsel, what is your opinion on this? And you also got to understand, and I listened to Councilman Beeter's interview, yesterday. Yeah. There's elections going on, and again, for political affiliation of what they're trying to accomplish, and before a primary and things like that to satisfy, the Democrats or whatever people that are supportive of this. Really goes back into the fact of you're not really looking out for the city, and that's the biggest issue.
Well, and I not to point the fingers all over the place, but we're looking at primaries right now all over, whether it's Republican or Democrat, and in primaries we have become so partisan, so hyper partisan that you're looking out for the far left or the far right because in a primary they're the ones who can kill you. And that's not what this is supposed to be, and that's what all of this redistricting has created. Sadly,
100%. And what's even more frustrating again is we look back that they actually cancel the council meeting because one member of their political party was away on a vacation. So again, if you really think about that, we had to stop government with committee meetings and council meetings because they didn't have enough votes to override the mayor's veto because somebody decided to take a vacation.
All right.
Now, that's a bigger problem.
We have a debate coming up between Republicans Dan Fusco and Mike Gentile, 119th Assembly, the Republican primary for Marion Buttonshawn's seat. Before I go there, I did want to tell you, my wife really ripped into me yesterday, and it was all over you, Samantha, so thanks a lot.
Oh, it's my fault.
Yep, it's your fault. It's your fault.
That sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
She said, well, maybe, you may be right, but she's like, you're making her do this stuff on the radio. She doesn't even have any idea. You're putting her in a bad position. Why are you doing this? Just be open with her in what you're doing. And I'm like, well, that would ruin the surprise. But
you think that I have a problem with you doing that? Do you not see crazy TikTok lady making videos about me every other day? Because I don't know if she's doing that either.
That's what I said.
I can have fun with this.
I'm nothing compared to what she goes through every day. So, all right, I'm going to give you a little tease, and I'm going to show you where I want you to. And I'm almost thinking your shout should be something like, "She's from Herkimer."
I'm not doing it again.
Well,
yeah,
Sam.
You will, whether you know it or not. I'm going to put you through AI. You're going to be amazed at what you're going to say. All right, just to listen to a little piece here, and I'll show you where it goes. Just a little bit, because I don't have a lot of time here. Davey's on guitar here. A little ditty about Katie and Sam. Two Utica ladies. Herkimer. In the legislative branch. That's where you'd put it in. Sam's got a good left hook, like a football star. She does. Katie makes TikTok videos from a seat in her car. And she does.
I love how this started.
All right, one more quick little verse here. Here we go. Katie's talking budget and how great the alleyway is. How the DA surveilled her for weeks and how un-American he is. Sam says, hey, Katie, why don't you show me where you live? Let's travel 12 miles to the east and meet up with your kids. All right, I got to stop it from there. So.
Boy.
Listen,
that's going to get me in trouble. That one, yeah.
Is that you literally have to laugh because it is very entertaining. You know, what goes on in the city. And what's even funnier is that I sit on the council knowing that they all don't like each other. That's even the worst part because they tell me how much they can't stand each other, but yet they'll still stick with each other for party politics. That's the craziest part.
Well,
at least I'll publicly say if I don't like Joe Beatrice. You know what I mean? I would tell you publicly.
You would definitely.
I wouldn't hide it.
I would not expect you to hide it. So, all right. Well, there you go. So we'll try to get that finished, and there you go.
That's
Sam,
great.
you have a great weekend. Thank you for participating.
We'll see you guys soon.
Okay, thanks. And good luck tomorrow, Dingy Bar tomorrow.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock tomorrow.
Crossed.
And they do a party at the Dingy Bar as well. Dingy Bar is the horse. And they'll be running an aqueduct tomorrow. So, okay, Samantha, thank you. Have a great day.
All right, take care, guys.
Coming up next, debate between Dan Fusco, Mike Gentile for the 119th Republican primary. It's next on WIBX.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. And online at tallmanstire.com.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
You love yard sales, but let's be real. You could spend all weekend driving around and still miss out on amazing finds. Over 100 vendors all in one place. Find antiques, furniture, household items, tools, brand new clothing, kids' clothes, toys, collectibles, hidden gems, and so much more. No driving all over town. Park once, shop, save, and treasure hunt all day long. The world's largest yard sale at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 20th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sponsored by the Potting Shed Antiques, Clinton Tractor and Implement Company, and James Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi.
Constantino won the debate, and the moment everyone's talking about proved it. Trump-endorsed businessman Anthony Constantino delivered a commanding performance against career politician Robert Smullen. Constantino talked about creating American jobs, building a company with over 1,000 employees, and standing up to Democrat boycotts and political attacks, all while self-funding his campaign to serve the people of New York's 21st District. Smullen appeared angry, defensive, and unprepared, but the most talked about moment came at the end. After praising Smullen's military service in his closing remarks, Constantino walked over to shake his hand. Smullen refused, turning his back in front of the entire audience. Constantino later said, "If he can't shake my hand, how can he work with people in Washington?" The contrast couldn't be clearer. On June 23rd, vote for Anthony Constantino. He's Trump-endorsed, the job creator, outsider, and fighter. He's nobody's man but yours. Early voting starts June 13th.
I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
Hello, Oneida and Herkimer County Republicans. I'm Charles Potter, your candidate for the 118th Assembly District. I would be honored to earn your support on June 23rd. With 14 years of dedicated service as a county supervisor and the only candidate endorsed by the New York State Conservative Party, experience matters. Please vote for Charles Potter on June 23rd. Early voting starts on June 13th. Paid for by Friends of Charles Potter.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are dedicated to helping you understand your benefits and how to use them. It's one of the reasons why, for the third straight year, we have been named #1 in customer satisfaction among Medicare Advantage plans in New York and #1 for ease of doing business by J.D. Power. We were named most trusted, too. We remain committed to giving you high-quality coverage and the best possible Medicare experience. Learn more at medicare.excellusbcbs.com. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Mattress Express, upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, is giving away prepaid Visa cards up to $1,000 on select king and queen sets, and we beat any locally advertised price on a mattress we carry. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Hi, this is Ray Durso of the Genesis Group. If you're interested in keeping up with events and news in the Mohawk Valley region, I have the show for you. It's called This Week in the Mohawk Valley, and it airs every Sunday on WIBX. Join us as we talk with area business leaders, elected officials, law enforcement, educators, and more. Don't miss This Week in the Mohawk Valley every Sunday at 9 a.m. on WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, good morning, and early voting begins tomorrow all over, and you can go probably best to your county's Board of Elections website. It'll tell you where you can vote early, and it lasts right up until the Sunday, which would be the 21st, I believe. 22nd, no voting. 23rd is primary election day, which is 6 a.m. until 9 p.m., there's a lot of races. There are a lot of races out there. One of the key races is between Dan Fusco and Mike Gentile in the 119th Assembly District. This is the Republican primary between the two candidates, and Manaski will handle this. We're going down the road of a little more informal debate here this morning.
Yes, so of course our candidates joining us, Dan Fusco, Mike Gentile. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning. Doing fine.
Nice and tight. Be tight on the microphones. That'll be my. I say it 20 times a morning. Sorry.
Did you say tight on the mic?
Tight on the mics.
What's
yeah.
that mean? I'm not from.
Just close to it.
Put your lips close. Yeah.
We're just going to begin again with opening statements. Give you a chance to give a message to the voters. Dan, would you go first, please?
Well, guys, first of all, thank you very much for hosting this, and thank you to Mike for agreeing to do this with me. It's very important. I'm Dan Fusco. I'm a resident of Deerfield, current town board member up in Deerfield, and I'm running for the 119th District of the New York State Assembly, something I'm taking very seriously. I would like to really encourage voters to get out to vote. If for no other reason, in full disclosure, between the four candidates, there's about $500,000 of your money being spent just on the primary. And that's public information. If you go to the campaign finance board, you can see what we're all receiving through matching funds. Folks, that is for you. That is your money. Go to the polls and get what you have coming to, the right to vote, because it's your money.
Yeah.
You know, we put up where our funds are matched. Like if you donate $5, it's matched 12 times. The first $50 of $250 is matched 12-fold. So that's your money. And like I said, I've done the math, all this public information, about $500,000 of your money. So please get to the polls and vote.
Race.
That's just in this one race between Mike, myself, and the two Democrats.
Yeah.
So that's an important point that people really should take claim to that and go to the polls and get what they're paying for.
And whether you do agree or disagree with the public funding, candidates really have no choice. If your opponent is taking the public money, you'll be left in the dark if in the dust.
Well, it keeps grassroots guys like me and Mike in the game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a closed game. Only wealthy people run for public office.
Okay.
Right?
Mike Gentile, been on this show several times over the years for multiple different things. My campaign's all about show up, listen, deliver. I believe that the best way to represent this community is showing up to, various events, various things in the community. I think it's really important to show face. And then I think it's very important to listen to the people and listen what they're contributing, make sure that the experts in fields their voices are being heard. And then it's important to take that to Albany and deliver results for the 119th district. This isn't just a campaign slogan. This is how I've lived my life, and it's something I'll continue to do. And I think that I come into this race as the most qualified, and I look forward to the voters seeing that as well. Thank you.
Mike, I want to follow up on that. What about your background, and each of you will have a chance to answer this. What about your background or your history makes you, do you believe, the better candidate to represent this area?
Yeah, I think just my volunteer service is a big thing. What I've done with Little League Baseball, Landmark Society, various other not-for-profit organizations. But I also think it's important to my City Hall experience is very important. I think that's given me an insight to public safety, an insight to municipal government that other people don't have. I also think my time as a county legislator, I've represented this whole district as a county legislator, even though I just represented a certain part, but we voted on things across the whole county. So I have an understanding of what's happening in Rome, what's happening in Whitestown, what's happening in Deerfield, Marcy, Floyd, and of course Utica. So I think that truly sets me apart, and I think I can take that knowledge and stuff into Albany and make real change.
Dan?
I don't come from politics. I come from a private business background. I've been in the current business I'm running now is 1/3 of a business I had, which I had sold off in early retirement, and I still run that. And I've been in thousands and thousands of households in Central New York. I don't come from a government background, political background. I've given service to my community ever since. I know people. I've been in their homes. I've grown up with their kids, their grandkids. I know people. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. And I said in a forum the other day that, I'm much older than the other candidates. So when I talk about stuff, they don't have any reference to understand what I'm talking about because they don't remember when we had General Electric plants. They don't remember when we had Griffiths Air Force Base and the business that brought. They don't remember what has been lost. I do, and I lived through it, and I survived through it through business. Mike, you mentioned your political experience. I don't think political experience really qualifies you for politics. I think it's private business, understanding people, and personal experience. Mike, you served. You were dismissed from your chief of staff position with the mayor of Utica, and you served 1 year as a county legislature.
That's false. 2 years. I don't full term.
Okay. I don't know how that supersedes any other qualification that I might have. I think because of my business experience locally and internationally that I am the best qualified candidate. I also understand current affairs and what's going on right now. And I have answers.
You addressed him directly about his background. I'll give you a chance to respond to that.
Yeah, again, you talk about my time as chief of staff. Well, you know what? In my time as chief of staff, I made relationships with people all across this county and the city. I made relationships with public safety. I know what the Utica Police Department and Utica Fire Department are facing. I know what municipal government is facing. Don't dismiss my qualifications because you don't have the same ones. I have that experience, and that's important. But also don't reference that you have qualifications because you watched GE leave. When you didn't stand up and keep GE here, you didn't get involved when you were younger to make sure that these things stayed in this area. So, I mean, it is what it is, and the people can decide.
Do you want anything back on that?
Well, I'm not sure what he means by, I wasn't in public office when I was 20-something years old when GE was leaving, but I felt the pains of it. It hit me economically, and it forced me to be a better businessman because I had to develop products and send them out to markets where I brought the money back to Oneida County. I reached out, and I ended up in 4 continents, bringing money back to Utica banks. So I fought to survive. I know the municipalities. I currently work as a municipal officer. I know this, and we don't need people from political backgrounds, honestly. People don't want that anymore. We don't need politicians. We don't need bureaucrats. We need warriors to fight the battle that we are in right now in New York State. Remember, I'm the endorsed conservative candidate and the endorsed Republican Party candidate. That means something. That means I am upholding those values, and I see how those values are threatened. And this is a Republican primary, right? I was chosen by the Republicans to represent them in this primary election. So I understand those principles better than anybody.
We actually had somebody just message in, and I'm going to bump this question up because it follows up on something you just said. Jeff, could you ask both candidates how they feel about the current division within the Oneida County Republican Committee and how that could be affecting their campaign or campaigns, and why they think this division exists in the first place? And Dan, you are first.
I'm going to go first. Yeah, that's really something. Political parties are based on, it's all about accountability and credibility, and they're based on law. They're legal organizations. The committee members are voted in by the people. The committee's vote for a candidate is the people's voice. What's happening in Oneida County right now is there's almost a shadow party where members of the Oneida County government are supporting Mike, right, as the candidate. He didn't get the endorsement. I did. So they create like their own little party to put their candidates in power. They are also challenging all the committee seats. That's never happened before. I think there's 54 primary challenges to committee member seats by people who work in the Oneida County government and their political families. That's apart from the purpose of parties. It doesn't follow the necessarily the legal guidelines. I mean, the ethical guidelines of what the committees are for, and they are supporting Mike as their candidate. They did a fundraiser for him. I was endorsed by the people through the weighted vote of the committee members. I got 100% of the vote of the Conservative Party, and the endorsement came from the state level. I got 65+% of the Republican committee vote in a 3-way race, meaning I got over 65%. Mike and another fellow had to split the remaining 35%. The other fellow realized it was the right thing to do to step out and support me.
Mike?
I'm extremely proud of the support I have. I'm extremely proud to have the support of the county executive. I'm extremely proud to have support of a lot of elected officials across this district. It's a testament to my ability to work with people, and it's a testament to my ability to get things done and have accomplishments. However, this election is about the people. It's not about the party. It's about the people. It's about the doors we knock on. It's about the events we go to and the people we communicate with. And it's important to understand that they're the ones that are going to have a voice, and they're the ones that are going to decide this election. It's not going to be the party that decides it. It's not going to be endorsement. It's going to be everyday people that show up to the polls and vote for the person they feel is the best candidate. I'll just throw out a question. My opponent talks about the importance of the committee. Has he ever been a committee member of the Republican Party? And when he did run to be a committee member, did he run in Deerfield, where he lives, or did he run in Marcy?
Do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I was asked to run to fill committee seats because up to that point, nobody even knew when there was a committee seat election. They would wait till it would pass. then the committee chairman at the time would just appoint people. So we wanted to get away from that non-representative aspect of appointments and let the people choose. So there was a seat in Marcy that we needed a candidate for. I didn't expect to win, but I felt it was important to have an open election for that seat. So I threw my hat in the ring and I ran for that seat so there could actually be an election and not an appointment. When you get appointments from political bodies like the United County government, that cuts the people out of the picture. I'm all about we're a constitutional representative democracy. So I ran for that seat to support that aspect of open elections. That's very, very important. We can't have open seats that then the powers to be, the close political power, can appoint who they want in there to do their bidding, and that's what's been going on. People don't even they're supposed to have meetings every I don't know what it is, like 3 months. They went 2 years without having a meeting. So when
it's not true,
and people, it is true.
It's
and
not.
People would vote by voucher. They'd give their voucher to the committee chair, and he would just vote however he wanted. And that's what, if the Oneida County initiative is successful, that's what it's going to be. The existing power is going to be making all the choices, cutting the people out of the equation. That's very unhealthy in the American environment.
Mike, I want to give you a chance to respond to what he said as well, but also voting by proxy, isn't that something that's become popular under the new leadership of the United County Republican?
It's something that's happened, and when he talks about his endorsement of the Republican Party, he got several proxies, and he can't deny that. And I would bet that he can't even name half the people that voted for him. So he talks about this process, and he talks about like it's a voice of the people. It's clearly not the voice of the people. It's not a committee that goes out there and knocks on people's doors and asks them who they want to vote for. But we're getting bogged down in this. But what I'll also say is I've been a Republican committee member. I've been a Republican committee member for several years, and I've gotten more Republicans elected in this community than my challenger and most people out there, and that should be looked at right now. Because I have stood up for the Republican Party time after time after time. I've been a registered Republican from the day I could vote. My challenger hasn't, and I'm the person that can represent the Republican values, the true Republican values that have stood the test of time in this community.
15 seconds, last word on this.
I don't want to get into tit for tat because it's childish, but I don't want to discredit, which my opponent just did, the numerous people that went out in the worst kind of weather and knocked on hundreds and hundreds of doors, both in the Conservative Party and the Republican Party, so the job could be done correctly. I appreciate that, and no way will I ever disrespect that.
Do we need a break, or can I continue?
Well, let's do one quick break, and then we can get some water if you guys need it. Vodka, gin.
Bars open?
Yeah, bars open. Hold tight. We'll come right back. The debate between Dan Fusco and Mike Gentile, 119th Assembly District. The Republican primary. Early voting starts tomorrow, and the primary election day is the 23rd from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. We'll come right back.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Hello, Oneida and Herkimer County Republicans. I'm Charles Potter, your candidate for the 118th Assembly District. I would be honored to earn your support on June 23rd. With 14 years of dedicated service as a county supervisor and the only candidate endorsed by the New York State Conservative Party, experience matters. Please vote for Charles Potter on June 23rd. Early voting starts on June 13th. Paid for by Friends of Charles Potter.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
Meet Anthony Constantino, running to represent us in Congress.
First off, you. I see through your game.
Wannabe rapper, wannabe Republican. But he can't rap his way out of reality. He's a lifelong Democrat who helped fund Trump's impeachment. After the George Floyd riots, he called our cops racist and sold "Kill the Police" stickers. He claims he's America first, but he shipped jobs overseas, even replaced workers with robots. Anthony Constantino, worse than a wannabe. He's a fraud.
And I know just how this ends.
The real conservative in the race? Robert Smullen, a Marine colonel. He fought for our country. Smullen was appointed by President Trump and will fight for the America First agenda. He's the Republican conservative and law enforcement endorsed candidate. On June 23rd, vote Robert Smullen for Congress. Proven patriot, ready to serve.
I'm Robert Smullen, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Robert Smullen for Congress.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, here we are, and we'll be smooth sailing right up till the top of the hour in our debate between Dan Fusco and Mike Gentile. The 119th Assembly District in New York State, currently held by Marianne Buttonshaw. And Manansky is doing the moderating here this morning. And good morning.
Good morning. Dan, this is going to... I gave you the last word there on that topic. I'm going to come, Mike, to you first. Mike, a Democrat has held this seat for decades. You go back to Roanne DeStito, Anthony Brindisi, Marianne Buttonshaw. Can a Republican effectively represent this area? First, can a Republican win the seat, in your opinion, and be an effective representative for this area?
Yes, absolutely. I would not be in this race if I didn't see myself being victorious, both in the primary and in November. I'm in this race to flip this seat. I'm in this race because I can be an effective leader. I have been an effective leader, and I have shown my ability to work with people and communicate effectively and get things done. So absolutely, we can be effective. We've seen Republican mayors in the area be effective. We've seen revenue come back to this community, whether it's been Democrats or Republicans. We've seen success in county government. We've seen success throughout this district. As a Republican in November, when I take office in January, I will absolutely be effective and be able to communicate effectively, bring revenue back to this area, and show that a Republican can absolutely win the seat.
Dan?
There's a mechanism in the assembly that a lot of people don't understand. Is there's a 1/3 majority or minority, and there's a 2/5. With the 1/3, there's 150 seats. So if you have 51 seats, now the convention, the Republican convention, can caucus or debate bills with the full assembly. If you get up to now 3/5 is quorum, and they can effectively block or pass bills. So what can happen is when the Republicans can debate at the 51 count, then they can hopefully cause some cross-party defection from the Democrats if they have a good bill and a good argument and can argue and debate, which you have to do all the time. And they can cause a cross-party defection to actually gain 2/5. And what that does, or one more than 2/5, and it knocks the quorum of the Democrats out. So yes, you could be effective by once you get that quorum, and it would require, until you get 60 members, it's going to require having the skills and the business acumen to be able to cross-defect Democrat votes to the Republican side. But yes, it can absolutely be done, and it's a direction we must go in. We have to go in. We can't continue on the way it is right now. New York State has no representation. It's all one-sided. The budget is the fattest budget that we've ever seen. Currently, $268 billion. But remember, it's not enacted yet. It's not till later this year that'll be enacted. By the time it's done, it'll probably be $272 billion was always my prediction. 40% of that was passed by message of necessity, which is last-minute voting. The Assembly didn't have the 3-day procurement period to actually study these bills and vote. They were shoved down the throat. So if you have good debaters and quorum, you can block a lot of that stuff. So yes, it can be done, but it's very, very difficult, and it takes ability to do that.
Dan, I'm going to come to you first on this. Did you have something, Bill? No.
I'm just saying it currently we are in a position where the majority Democrats have basically full say as to what happens, and we saw that especially in the process, budget process this year. So,
but they want us to tap out. They want us to think there's no hope, but there is hope. But you need strong people in there to do it.
What is the most important issue or advocacy that you think you can provide for this area? What is the priority that you will have if you're elected your first day in office?
Well, representation. People representation. That's a very broad answer, but I'll look at my what I've done in the town of Deerfield. From day one, I brought people into the meetings. It was always the board, maybe the zoning board lady, and maybe one other or a family member. Now, every meeting since I first took seat January 2nd, 2025, we've had to bring in extra chairs. And the way I did that is I opened up communication with my constituents through creating my own personal newsletter, because the town wasn't doing it, digital newsletters, text threads. And I do that. I inform people of every meeting. So what happens then, you become an oracle for the people to come in and run their government. That really needs to be done, and you can do that on a state legislative level first. So what people want is they want to be able to live in New York. New York's an awesome place. It's one of the best states. When I was growing up, it had the best education system. It's one of the nicest places to live. The weather's not too good sometimes, but it's really one of the nicest places to live. People want to be able to stay here. They don't want to have to sell their homes. They want their children to stay here. They don't want to have to get on a plane to go visit their grandkids, you see? So, and affordability, of course, we can talk all day on that one, but that right there is a biggie. It's the Democrat policies over the past 54 years that have caused all the problems that we are experiencing right now, and we are in crisis. You have to admit that. We are in crisis right now. We need a warrior that steps up to battle this.
Mike?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, like I said, my campaign's all about show up, listen, deliver. But the most important thing is we talked about the budget. On day one and throughout this campaign, I've said it on this radio station early, we need to take policy out of the budget. All of the policies that are crushing upstate New York were slammed through the budget process, and we can't have it. We have to get the policy out of the budget. Even with the Democrat-controlled everything, the budget still took 2 months to get passed. It's not right. We can't have it, because now the Assembly's coming home, the Senate's coming home, and they haven't properly debated any policy issue the way they should. And there's a lot of things facing this community that we need to fight for. We need to change, and it's not happening. You look at corrections, right? There's a lot of things at corrections that need to be discussed that we haven't discussed. There's a lot of things on affordability that need to be discussed further that we haven't discussed. There's a lot of things in education. You name it, it affects everything. We need to take policy out of the budget. We need to debate dollars and cents, and then we need to debate policy issues, and we need to have proper debate. And once we do that, then we can actually start affecting real change.
These next two issues, the next two things I want to ask you about, if we could go real quick on these, like 15 to 20 seconds. Mike, you're first. Have you reached out to Marianne Buttonshaw to get a lay of the land, for lack of a better term, or some background on issues that she has identified as critical?
Again, as a county legislator, as chief of staff, I've developed a great relationship with Marianne's office because we had to, because of that work. I have a great understanding of the lay of land. I have great understanding because I have relationships with a lot of the electeds and, people that are in it every day. And of course the people. I've knocked on more doors than anyone. I've been to more events than anyone. I've been with more people than anyone. So I have a lay of the land. I have full understanding that I'm sure Marianne will be transparent and available to whoever wins. And I know she cares about this community and will continue to.
Same question.
It's a little premature right now. I'm waiting until I win the election, but I did speak to some of her staff the other day. They know who I am. I know who they are, and I've worked with her in the past as a town board member. So there needs to be a proper handoff. Many of the initiatives that she, I guess I'd say, enacted need to be continued because people are dependent on them. So, yeah, there has to be a proper handoff, but right now it's a little premature for that.
Sure. Fair point from both of you. So let me ask you this. On energy, I want to get into energy, and I guess this overlaps into affordability, which both of you have talked about. Dan, you first. Would you have supported something that was included in the budget here? I believe it was $1 billion for these energy rebate checks for homeowners, for I think utility rate users. It's like $100 for a single person, $200 for a couple that's together. Would you support the checks, and why?
Well, I think it's an election year tactic for Kathy Hochul. It's not going to go very far. My electric bills, utilities I pay, are probably $600 more per month than what they were 3 years ago. They caused the problem. Giving everybody $100 is not going to fix it. You have to get to the root cause of the problem. So I think that's feckless, wasteful. I probably would not have voted for that. I would vote for deeper, changes in the overall root cause of the problem.
I agree with that. $100, one time $100 isn't really gonna do enough for the people. I think we need to look at, there was tax holiday was thrown out there, different rebates on how to, just look beyond that delivery charge and stuff. So I think we needed to look at something more sustainable to put money back in the pockets of people. But we certainly have to. Now, if that money was coming from other sources, if it was coming from a surplus somewhere else outside of the budget, I'd be more supportive of that. But we need to look at sustainable things on affordability and not just a one-time peanuts check.
Agriculture is very important to New York State, and especially to our community and to this district in particular. How will you be an effective advocate for the agricultural community in our area?
One of the things is, I am an agriculturist. I grew up in an agricultural family. My wife was a conservationist with the Natural Resources Conservation Service Department of the USDA. We live, we breathe this. I have land. I have land in easements. I have protective lands. I manage land for the wildlife. And I do hobby farming myself, with cattle and chickens and produce and all that sort of stuff. It's deeply in my heart. I would, number one, defend farmland from this crazy scam of building renewable energy on viable farmland. That's insane. And I would create a balance between local, small, sustainable farmers and large corporate farmers. You do need large corporate farms to supply the demands, but when you look at the USDA budget, so much of it does go to large industrial, corporate farms. I would love to see more of a balance between that and small scale local farms. A big farm used to be, say, a dairy farm would be milking 600 heads. Yeah, that's doesn't even count, it seems, anymore. But that's important. We got a farmer needs to be able to make a living milking 600 cows, or even like my Amish neighbors might milk 25 cows. You need to get back to that small agriculture. For the number one reason is that a farmer is a conservationist when they practice the proper methods of farming. They're stewards of the land. That's the way it's always been since the beginning of time, that farmers are stewards of the land. But when you get into corporate and large-scale farming, that aspect gets lost. So for the sake of our environment and our ecology, we really need to create a balance between spending for corporate farms and the support of small agriculture.
Thank you. Mike?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for acknowledging agriculture as a major contributor to this economy. This month is Dairy Month, obviously extremely important. One of the things that I did very early on when in my campaign is I went and visited Donito Farms. I had a very long conversation with Terry Donito. She's absolutely wonderful. She's a huge advocate for agriculture, and really getting an understanding of what she's facing as a huge contributor to dairy in this area, and make sure that I have that understanding. So all throughout my campaign and my time as the assembly person, I will make sure that the people that are really on the front lines of the agriculture in this area have a voice in everything I do. And, another thing I did very recently is I volunteered for Farm Fest up at Donito Farms as well, and was able to watch, over 700 students have an experience on a farm, learn about agriculture, and have a greater understanding of why agriculture is important. And I think it's important to get to the experts. We need to understand where our flaws are as candidates, as assembly people, and get to the experts.
You want to respond?
Yeah, living on a farm and visiting a farm once are very different things. I also grew up, my uncle had a big cattle ranch in Kansas where I used to love spending my summers there. I learned how to ride horses and work cattle and all that. My dad had a farm. My uncles had farms. I grew up with this. I live on a farm now, a lot of it. So I lived that, and visiting a farm once. I can't tell you how many farms I visited, I live with an agriculturalist, an expert in her field. So, let's make that distinction. That's something I know very, very well.
Well, we can make the distinction. Having a hobby farmer, having a big backyard is a lot different than having a big,
my friend.
Being somebody that is on the front lines is one of the biggest advocates for agriculture in the area. And it wasn't just once, it's been several times and throughout my life that I've met with these people and have a greater understanding. And I know I can use that voice to go down and advocate in Albany.
If you want to could you do it quick if you wanted to respond to what
No,
he
I'm
said?
going to let that go.
Okay.
I'll let that one go.
Go ahead.
Can I want to ask about it. We've talked a little bit about how GE leaving and how the base closed, but there has been a resurgence in downtown Utica, in Rome, on the base. In fact, there is much more coming out of the base now than when the Air Force was there. So you have that. We now have Chobani coming. Advancements at Turning Stone. There's a rumor that more is coming when it comes to nanotechnology or high tech in Marcy. All of these things, though, your district has played a big role in where we are today, and will be playing a big role going forward. I don't know who goes first, but how do you see your role, and how do you feel about the advancement that's currently underway? Who goes first?
I lost track.
Let's go with Mr. Gentile.
Yeah. I'm extremely proud of some of the advancements that we're making in this community. As a county legislator, I was very much involved in the Chobani project. That's a huge thing for this community, and people need high-paying jobs and good-paying jobs and consistent-paying jobs. And, we talk about we don't want people to leave. Well, we need to have jobs here for people to stay. And that's a combination of private businesses, public, everything that we have here. So my campaign's about the future and what we can bring to the table and how we can get new people here and make New York more affordable and make it more business friendly and cut through the red tape and stuff. But I've been a part of having those conversations with real businesses about why it's important to come here, what we can do, how we can have manufacturing supported, how we can get the community colleges and the colleges to have programs to support the jobs that are coming. I've been a part of it. I've been a part of those conversations. I've been a part of the conversations with business owners that want to bring businesses here and how they want to do it and what they need to do it. So I have an understanding of that. This campaign is about how to move New York forward, how to make sure that we are in a position that we can be business friendly. It's not about what we've lost in the past. It's about what we have going forward.
You never want to forget your history, and that's why it is important to know where we were and how we got here. I'm really proud of what our area has done at Griffiths. It's really fantastic. Excuse me. The prospect of Chobani coming is awesome because Chobani was started by an entrepreneur, a private enterprise, private investment. That's what we need more of. The importance of knowing what happened. Griffiths was reinventing itself. I had to reinvent myself too. I watched that as I watched my own business. I had to go from local, people have no idea how much money came into my business from the base. Right. And so when that went down, I was going down too. So I had to reinvent myself real quick. And I reached out, and like I said, started bringing money back to this area from 4 different continents. But why it's important to know that history is because we changed from an industrial base, manufacturing base, to a service economy. And when we changed from a service economy, what happened is Medicaid funding went through the roof, and we became, like a Medicaid funded economic environment. Medicaid right now is almost half of the New York State budget, $120 billion or so. Excuse me. So it's important to understand that transition. So when you have an economy based on government subsidy, then you lose that private investment, you see, and everything becomes private investment, and that's not sustainable. What I am very good at is bringing private investment into the area, and that's what I will focus on.
All right.
The government spending is really good because it helps buffer, but it's not. It shouldn't be the only source. It helps sustain, it helps buffer, but it doesn't grow long term. Private investments grows long term.
I just want to remind everybody, early voting starts tomorrow. Can we move closing statements to after because we're out of time this hour.
The one break we have to take is coming right up here. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I didn't mean anything. That question is not loaded. It just is really, the question is, how will you play a part in the economy going forward if you're elected? With all that, we have Fox News. We'll take that break, and then on the other side, one or two more questions, and then your closing, and we'll get to it coming up, gentlemen.
Perfect.
Debate between Dan Fusco, Mike Gentile. We'll do it on the other side of news, which is next right now at WIBX.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
A deal with Iran could be signed this weekend. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump says.
We ended the war with Iran today, and they have agreed never to have a nuclear weapon.
That was during his call into a rally in Georgia for Republican candidate for Governor Burt Jones. Hours after the president announced he'd called off a third straight night of attacks on Iran. Fox Business's Max Gordon reports from Dubai.
According to Iranian state media, the 14-page draft includes U.S. commitments to lift sanctions on Iran, withdraw troops, and release frozen Iranian funds. But final negotiations still need to tackle nuclear and economic issues. Iran's foreign ministry says much of the agreement has been outlined, but nothing is currently finalized.
There was another skirmish in the Strait of Hormuz. A U.S. official tells Fox Iran tried to attack commercial ships, but American forces shot down 2 drones. Despite that, oil prices are down more than 3% on the potential for a deal. There's another 86-47 formation. Weeks after former FBI Director James Comey was indicted, accused of threatening President Trump in a social media post showing that in seashells on a beach, the new one was found burned into a lawn near the Washington Monument.
The Department of Interior is calling this an act of deranged vandalism, with authorities not only trying to figure out who did this, but also what caused the discoloration in the grass.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House. The president's name has to be taken off the Kennedy Center in Washington by today unless an appeal stops that.
It's a last-minute legal push to make sure the facility stays as the Trump Kennedy Center. A source tells Associated Press the center's board voted to seek a stay of court ruling that said President Trump's name was illegally added to the center. The judge in the case had ruled only Congress could change the name of the facility and ordered all references to Trump be removed.
That's Fox's Jill Nato. The World Cup's underway. Team USA plays Paraguay tonight at Los Angeles Stadium. America's listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-809-7171. That's 800-809-7171.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
As oil prices fall on hopes of a U.S.-Iran deal, stock futures are up big. The day after the Dow surged more than 900 points, gaining back the losses in Wednesday's big sell-off. One stock debuts today, and it could take off.
SpaceX, with an initial public offering valuing the company at $135 per share at the start.
The SpaceX debut could mint the world's first trillionaire in the company's CEO and founder, Elon Musk. By some estimates, the company's IPO will create 4,000 new millionaires among employees, from engineers to cafeteria workers, because of their employee stock options.
Fox Business Network's Grady Trimble. A key provision of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act expires tonight, allowing warrantless spying on subjects overseas. Now, a 3-week extension was not approved in Congress.
The House and then the Senate rejected an extension of FISA 702, while Democrats and some Republicans had demanded reforms, including requiring a warrant to obtain Americans' information revealed by the surveillance. Democrats then rejected an extension over the president's selection of his federal housing finance director, Bill Pulte, as temporary director of national intelligence. Senate Majority Leader John Thune said on the Senate floor,
"At a time when we're hosting the World Cup, we got 250th anniversary celebrations going on around this country. This is a time of risk for the American people."
House lawmakers have left town and are on break until June 23rd. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
President Trump has nominated someone else to be director of national intelligence, Jake Clayton, but still plans to let Pulte take the DNA job on an acting basis next week until Clayton's confirmed by the Senate. Now to the battle for hockey's Stanley Cup.
Svechnikov again. Back to Gostisbehere. Sissons pressure. Svechnikov scores!
Andrei Svechnikov had 2 goals, leading the Hurricanes past the Golden Knights 4-2 on ABC. Carolina leads Vegas 3-2 in the series. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Not only hot and humid, but the outlook is for severe weather midday into the afternoon and evening hours. Thunderstorms erupting here as we push on through later this morning into the afternoon. And again, some of these storms out ahead of the front could contain strong damaging winds and hail, potentially some isolated tornadoes. Temperatures will be in the middle 80s with the heat index making it feel a little bit hotter. Tonight, clouds early, front through with clear, comfortable later, upper 50s. North Country a little bit cooler. Great looking Saturday, sunshine 85. Likely showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
It is cloudy with a chance of rain. 72 now at WIBX.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, a couple more questions with our candidates here. Debate between Dan Fusco and Mike Gentile. 119th Assembly District. This is the Republican primary, and early voting begins tomorrow. I have a question from a listener, and we'll start with you on this one, Dan. It is where did it go? Okay. We've heard how they both feel about farming and how much knowledge each has when it comes to farming. My question is, how much knowledge and experience do each of you have when it comes to the cities and the inner city? And we'll start with Mr. Fusco.
Well, in what aspect?
I don't have the ability to ask her, but we're talking about city life.
Well, I guess one of the things I'll say, and I'm not understanding the question, but I will try to tie it into agriculture, is there's a big push coming into the United States right now of moving urbanity into rural America. And I'm not really sure what's driving that. So it doesn't help urbanity, or it doesn't help urban or rural very well either. So when you talk about defending farms and defending farmlands, we need to leave the city and build strong city cores, but we can't let that bleed out into rural areas. And that's one of the things, people don't know, but New York State set up this whole map called DACS, disadvantaged communities, right? And what they're trying to do is give urban people the same privilege and lifestyle that people that live in the country have. I don't know how that would ever play out, if that's good or bad. I'm not judging it. But that is something that when I see that, I don't understand it. I think we need to build strong city cores, right? It's great how produce and stuff goes into cities through farmers markets, but we need to defend rural lands too, for rural living, lifestyle, and agriculture. I remember when I was on the county committee for solar, I argued that point. I said, we can't let them blanket the surrounding areas of Utica, because how is the city ever going to expand if we don't maintain these rural areas? If you industrialize them all with renewable energy, solar, because they were talking Marcy, Deerfield, Sequoia, all around. How is the city of Utica ever going to expand? So you need to be able to expand urban centers while defending rural areas. I hope that answers the question that the caller had.
I don't think it does.
I had to take some direction, so
but
maybe they got something out of it.
But let's go to Mr. Gentile.
Thanks. I did my best, and that's what he gives me.
My apologies, but I tend to be honest, and I don't think that's where she was going. But that's your answer.
Anyone could always contact me through my website, Fusco for Assembly. Really, anytime.
Fair enough.
I am incredibly grateful for my growing up in the city of Utica, my time in every part of this neighborhood and every part of the city of Utica neighborhoods, and my time spent in Rome. I have a great understanding of the city of Utica and what it's going through because I've lived it. And that's a part of every single community through, Little League Baseball. Obviously, that's a huge network of people. But beyond that, one of my favorite places in all the city of Utica is rebuilding the village. The stuff that's happening out of a building like that is absolutely incredible. The stuff that's happening out of the rec center on the Parkway is absolutely incredible. The programs that we have for people and children to get a greater world understanding and have places where they feel safe and supported, and the stuff that's going into that is absolutely amazing. We have such a loving community in the city and across the 119th district. I'm so proud to be a part of that day in and day out. And absolutely, another thing, again, in my time as Chief of Staff, one of the things is dealing with the police department and community policing and what that looks like, and making sure that people have trust with the police department, but also that the police department is building relationships within the community. So I think it's a strong thing that I have and something that I'm passionate about the cities in this district.
Donna is the person who asked the question, and she's clarifying now. So I'll give you
a second chance.
Both a chance to.
That's all you could ask for in life is a second chance.
So she's saying I'm asking about what experience do you each have when it comes to dealing with inner city families, and so we'll give you both a chance to respond to that.
Okay. Well, I grew up in South Utica myself, and I went to UFA, which was considered inner city Utica. It's public school. So I grew up in a great American community where we had all ethnic diversity. I'm really, really grateful for that. Currently, I run a Taekwondo school in South Utica, and I work with a lot of the inner city Utica people, and I understand their challenges too. I'm really concerned with housing is a big issue because I don't want to see corporations come in and exploit people because of their economic status and build these affordable housing that then eventually they get all the credits, and the credits run out, they put these people on the street. I'm totally against that. So we need entry-level homes. We need replacement homes. We need to build stronger senior communities because that puts more houses on the open market too, as seniors move into senior housing where they're actually safer, so medical costs goes down. I could talk an hour on that one. But it puts more homes on the market, and that keeps the price of homes affordable for everybody. Once again, I don't know if that answers Donna's questions. She can come to one of our forums. I like to meet her, and we can discuss that. But really sensitive because it's within the inner cities. It's like the solar plexus of culture. It begins there and it spreads out, and it's really important that that's intact, healthy, and solid.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll just add. We it's interesting. We talk about my resume a little bit, and we've talked about the last 2 years. Prior to the last 2 years, I've been an educator. I've worked for Upstate Caring Partners. I've worked in the school district. I've been a part of a lot of organizations. So I think it's important I'm not just this, elected career politician person. I'm an educator by trade, and it's something that's very important to me. But again, I've been to the events. I've been there. I've gone to the James Street block parties. I've participated in a trust building initiative between the Utica Police Department and the community where, let me tell you, you want to talk about topics that are affecting people in this community. Those are where the real conversations are happening. And that's with children, that's with adults, that's with parents, that's with people from all across the city of Utica. And so I've been a part of it. You know, again, show up, listen, deliver. That's not just a slogan. It's who I am as a person.
We have just a couple more quickies and just quick answers on these if we could, because we are running out of time. But I'll start with Mike on this. Obviously, I think we all can agree that the intention of bail reform was probably a good intention, but it seemed to go too far without considering district attorneys, sheriffs, law enforcement, etc. throughout the state. And one of the things it has done is really taken away judicial discretion, which seems to be a big problem with all of this. How do you make a change when it comes to bail reform? And you're explaining this from an upstate perspective, and you would be doing so from the minority. How do you accomplish that? Quick answers on this.
Well, we just have to go back. Bail reform passed through the budget, never properly debated. It needs to get back on the floor, properly debated with experts, with people that are really facing these issues, not just politicians that think they're experts, but the people that are actually facing with it day to day. I've been in Albany. I've had those conversations with people in Albany about how things are. It's happening. The conversation needs to happen more, and we can't be in a situation where we're passing policy through the budget and it's not debated properly.
Dan.
It needs to be reformed. Bail reform needs to be reformed. It's really been a crisis, and our current Democrat Assembly member voted for it. You know, I listened to the Democrat challenges for Mike and I. One of us is going to go against one of them, and I'm not impressed with their alliance to this Democrat Party that has caused most of these problems. That's why it's really important that the Republicans elect a candidate who's going to stand up to one of those and defend the Republican perspective on many of these things. So, yeah, it's really important.
Manaski, final question?
Yeah, I think we can go to a closing.
Okay.
I know we're light on time. Guys, if we could cap this or do our best to cap it at 90 seconds.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, Dan, I'm gonna actually hit the timer on this one. Dan, your final pitch, once again, early voting starts tomorrow. I guess we can rehash that again where people can vote, but your final pitch to the voters before early voting begins. Dan Fusco.
Once again, I am the Republican and Conservative Party endorsed candidate for this race. That means a lot to me. There's values that need to be upheld there, and I intend to do that. Like I said, I'm not impressed by the Democrat candidates and what they stand for. They're nice guys. Mike and I have been with them all week. We've had a lot of events. They're nice guys. We all get along. But when they start talking about what they're in alignment with, it scares me. It's not good. It's not the direction. We don't want to replace what we always had with the newer generation. We want to change it. It's time for a change, and we need balance in government. We need proper representation of the people of the 119th district. It's that simple. I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in a constitutional representative republic. I believe in fair and open elections through the democratic process. This is the bedrock of our culture, and I'm a Second Amendment, First Amendment advocate, big time. These are the values, the American values. I'm a patriot. This is stuff that I will never back down on, and I have the ability and the strength to stand up to not only whichever Democrat candidate gets the primary election, but to the Democrats in the Assembly as well. Not to fight with them, but to work with them for a mutual benefit for the people. We need balance in government. We have not had that in a long time. Right. So I'm the candidate for the 119th to deliver that.
And
Mikey Dan, Mike Gentile.
The people have a choice. Obviously, we're both here as Republicans. I don't think there's two Republicans that can be further apart as just our delivery, who we are, how we participate in this community. And that's not a bad thing. Again, the people have a choice to make. But I want to touch on a few things. I've been a Republican since the day I could vote. Okay, I have helped more Republican candidates get elected. I have shown that I am a Republican that can get votes across this city, across this district. I have a greater understanding of the issues. I have a greater understanding of what people are facing right now. This campaign is about the future. This campaign is about what we're going to do to change New York, how we're going to make it more business friendly, and I'm going to show up, listen, and deliver for the people of this area. I'm going to show up, listen, and deliver because that's what I've always done. And you can look at my resume, you can look what I've done in this community, and I will put it against any one of my opponents on the Republican side or the Democrat side. But I've been there, I will continue to be there, and I am the best and most qualified candidate to represent you in Albany.
All right, guys, thank you. And good luck starting tomorrow.
Thank you, yes.
Election Day is June 23rd, officially 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Early voting begins tomorrow. If you're in Oneida County, I encourage you to check out their website for the hours because they do vary by day. Herkimer County, I would encourage you to do the same as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We wish you the best of luck, and we'll be talking to you again in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
A couple of quick comments on this. Deeds, who normally doesn't throw out compliments. Jeff does a nice job with the moderation.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate
And I know you're off for the next hour, so your replacement is holy. I'm just telling you.
Well, yeah, he's I
Father
hold
Sean.
a candle to Father Sean. So,
and then Ann in Rome would like to answer one of the questions that was thrown at you guys. She said, "I can answer that very easily." Talking about bail reform, you do the crime, you do the time.
I agree.
And we'll leave it at that. Guys, thank you so much, and,
Thank you
and
very
good luck.
much.
Quick break. 8:19. We have this hour Heather Scribner. She's a Republican candidate for the 118th Assembly. And that primary, of course, begins tomorrow. And Brian Lamica, former Ilion mayor, and Chuck Lester. There is a write-in campaign going on and a big question about what happens next at Remington. Would it be possibly a data center? It has everybody up in arms in the Valley. We'll talk about that. And Michael Mott is a New Hartford native, has a new album coming out. We'll hear his song coming up before we'll all get out of here at 9 o'clock this morning. Coming up at WIBX.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Constantino won the debate, and the moment everyone's talking about proved it. Trump-endorsed businessman Anthony Constantino delivered a commanding performance against career politician Robert Smullen. Constantino talked about creating American jobs, building a company with over 1,000 employees, and standing up to Democrat boycotts and political attacks, all while self-funding his campaign to serve the people of New York's 21st District. Smullen appeared angry, defensive, and unprepared, but the most talked about moment came at the end. After praising Smullen's military service in his closing remarks, Constantino walked over to shake his hand. Smullen refused, turning his back in front of the entire audience. Constantino later said, "If he can't shake my hand, how can he work with people in Washington?" The contrast couldn't be clearer. On June 23rd, vote for Anthony Constantino. He's Trump-endorsed, the job creator, outsider, and fighter. He's nobody's man but yours. Early voting starts June 13th.
I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
Feeling groovy? Then don't miss Melvin Seals and JGB live at the Stanley Theater this October 16th at 8 p.m. Experience over 30 years of legendary Hammond B3 organ mastery. Join us for a night of funky grooves and soulful energy. Tickets on sale now at thestanley.org or give us a call at 315-324-4000. Melvin Seals and JBG live. See you there, folks.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again?
At ABC ChemDry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC ChemDry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
Registration is officially open for the 2026 Boilermaker Road Race. Get ready for the 49th annual running of this iconic event, Sunday, July 12th. Whether you're chasing a personal best or just soaking up the incredible energy, this is a race day event you don't want to miss. Secure your spot now and be a part of one of the most celebrated road races in the country. Sign up today and get your training underway. Be sure to listen to live coverage of the Boilermaker Road Race, Sunday morning, July 12th, beginning at 7 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Listen, before Jeff came back, he had committed to, he's actually out on the western part of the county. He's building homes. Oh, it's not what he's doing? Oh, he's in a golf tournament. Okay. I thought it was Habitat for Humanity. No, he is committed to a golf tournament. And to fill in for him this morning.
Good morning.
Is the one and only, my former college classmate, and father now, Father Sean. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Thanks for having me here on WIBX 950 AM.
How's the North Country, first of all? Are things good up there?
Oh, yeah, everything's
beautiful,
fine.
right? And it's not quite as hot and humid up there.
No.
Yeah.
So every other day I do my exercises, and I'm on this. Older we get, you try to stay healthier.
I know.
So I've taken up walking, and of course today's world
overrated, I believe.
You have to walk at 5 in the morning because it's the safest time of day.
Right.
Everybody's passed out, so the people you have to worry about aren't out and about. And today, so you get home, shower. I'm still wet. I mean, it's dead humid out.
It is really, really humid. Yeah. And it'll be that way for the next couple of days. And then we're in for some low to mid to upper 70s for about a week or two. So
I see that. Looking at my phone.
Yes, we're going to get the forecast from you coming up.
All right.
Also, of course, how are the people in Rome, where your parish is?
Well, I'll tell you how good Rome is. We have very few seminarians, right? It's not like people are banging on the door to become priests.
Right.
And the guys that we do have are really good guys. And this summer, Bishop Lucia has chosen to send one of them, Jonathan Houle, who's from Utica, to live with us at Sacred Heart Parish in Rome, New York. That's because the people in Rome are great and the parish in Rome is doing well. And he trusts us with part of the formation of this young man. And it's an honor for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the project that I'm working with you on, and we'll get almost like the old days of radio television.
That's it.
We're working on a project together, right?
Only we can do it from home now.
It's incredible.
We don't have to go to college and sign up.
Incredible. If at any point you are now the co-host.
Ooh.
So if at any point we're going to interview a candidate for the 118th Assembly District. If at any point you want to pop in and
I stay out of politics.
Well, that's probably wise.
I have to be everybody's priest, so I can't.
But if you do have a question,
sure,
feel free to bop in. Let's speak with Heather Scribner, as we said, Republican candidate for the 118th. Primary begins tomorrow, early voting, and then the 23rd is primary election day. Heather, good morning. We want to give you a chance to give a final plea to the voters out there today.
Hi, good morning, and thank you for having me on this morning. My final plea is I'm the only candidate that has the experience. I started off in many local experiences in government. I was a town clerk. I was an assessor. I worked for the New York State Senate, and I'm Fulton County Treasurer. And the experience is going to matter here because you're going to have to shift into a position right away. So there isn't going to be any learning curve there. And so that's what sets me away from the other candidates running in this race. And it is important because we are at a crisis here in the state of New York.
One of the questions I think we ask every Republican is how would you How do you find yourself working with Democrats? There's a very good chance that you will continue to be in the minority, a very good chance of that. If you win, how do you work with Democrats to get stuff done for your district?
Sure. There's, I believe there's a couple different ways that you can address some of those items. And from my experience working in the Senate, I see where political pressure does make a difference against the Democrats when you're trying to push something across. And we're seeing it right now. We have a lot of Republicans running. And right now, even with Hochul pushing 5 years out to the electric school bus mandate, I think that is impactful. But we have to keep putting that political pressure on the Democrats, make sure our messaging is coming out strong, that the people are fed up and they want changes, and we're spending too much money in Albany. And that's one way to get across the aisle, because when it comes down to it, they do get nervous when it's time for election season and we're able to get some of those things across.
Father, do you have anything?
Electric school buses in cold weather up north.
Yeah, that's a real problem.
As I'm not taking the political side. I'm just, as a priest, I have a lot of families in my parish, and I don't have nieces and nephews myself, but I would be concerned if my kids were stuck on a bus. It's 29 degrees and the battery loses its charge.
Yeah. I mean, I have a hybrid vehicle, so I see the efficiency of that battery plummets when it's cold.
Yeah.
And it's about 40 degrees is where you start to feel it. But if it was really cold, that would definitely play a role. And I'm assuming, Heather, that's really what you're talking about here, is that this doesn't work. Maybe there are some districts where they're just city school districts and you're going around city streets. But as you get into rural upstate New York, boy, this is going to be a toughie.
Oh, I know. I've traveled it, and I've seen things. I had a situation where I broke down on the campaign trail. My starter went, and I didn't have cell phone service, and I had all these things, where I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? And so these rural areas where my kids went to school, some of the bus routes were an hour away living in such rural areas. And that's kind of, scary for parents, as well, if you're, you run out. But still, Hochul pushes this back at 5 years. It shouldn't be there. It should be about choices. I'm not against some energy things that we can, do, but it has to work for your community. And we can't keep being compared at one size fits all state because we are very different in upstate rural, and especially in the 118th Assembly District.
Okay, Heather, we wish you the best. Early voting starts tomorrow. It's finally here.
I know it's coming up quick. Thank you for having me. Vote for Heather Scribner in the Assembly in the 118th, and I hope to make it across that finish line. But I can't do it until everybody gets out there and votes, and I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, have a great day. Thanks for having me.
And primary election day is the 23rd. We've said that about 1,000 times, but these are important primaries. It's going to be important for people to get out and vote. There's a funny bit out there that I don't know if I think he's more philosopher than comedian, but he talks about how can you imagine where the debate was what we're having right now? How complicated it is. How do you refuel these vehicles? How are the infrastructure is not there right now? And what happens if it breaks down? There's no one to fix those vehicles. This, of course, was the horse lobby back as automobiles were starting to come into play.
Right.
The same argument existed, but the same argument is that the infrastructure wasn't there yet. Yeah. There weren't gas stations in the beginning. And we're kind of in that same mode right now where the infrastructure is not here.
But the thing is, Mike, we'll probably get there.
We'll get there, yes.
And you can't rush it. You couldn't put, how many Model Ts are you going to stick in Nebraska in 1911 when there isn't a gas station or a mechanic in town?
That's exactly right, yeah. And the big thing then was, number one, gasoline, but your tires going flat. That was a huge problem.
It still is for me.
It is. For those who don't know, you have one.
Not a horse. I have a Model T. Yeah. So when you talk about, the school bus won't have any heat, I'm used to driving without heat. And I
had a Volkswagen early on. I know what that's like. All right, a quick break, and we're going to speak with the former mayor of Ilion and the former council person.
I think he knows my mother.
He may very well.
She cut his hair.
We'll talk about that. Chuck Lester and Brian Lamica coming up. There's a write-in campaign. The village elections are Tuesday, and this is for the village of Ilion. There's a lot going on there. We're going to get into it. Coming up next to WIBX.
Constantino won the debate, and the moment everyone's talking about proved it. Trump-endorsed businessman Anthony Constantino delivered a commanding performance against career politician Robert Smullen. Constantino talked about creating American jobs, building a company with over 1,000 employees, and standing up to Democrat boycotts and political attacks, all while self-funding his campaign to serve the people of New York's 21st District. Smullen appeared angry, defensive, and unprepared, but the most talked about moment came at the end. After praising Smullen's military service in his closing remarks, Constantino walked over to shake his hand. Smullen refused, turning his back in front of the entire audience. Constantino later said, "If he can't shake my hand, how can he work with people in Washington?" The contrast couldn't be clearer. On June 23rd, vote for Anthony Constantino. He's Trump-endorsed, the job creator, outsider, and fighter. He's nobody's man but yours. Early voting starts June 13th.
I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton. If you have substantial assets, a delay in planning can cost you. It takes time to reduce taxes and protect assets. Planning ahead can save money and ease the stress on your family. We employ multiple strategies to protect what you have built. Call us for a free analysis of your tax and asset protection issues, because the smartest plan is made early.
Hilton, you know the name. They know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service. Family owned and operated since 1980, Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors. Available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
Albany is broke, and Dan Fusco knows it. Highest energy costs, highest taxes, highest healthcare costs. These issues affect you and your families, and Dan knows it. With 50 years of private business experience, Dan is determined to fix Albany. Vote for someone who has long-term solutions, who will listen and work for you. Vote Dan Fusco on June 23rd.
Paid for by Friends of Dan Fusco.
Get pumped for summer and receive an instant rebate of up to $10,000 in Clean Heat Air Source Heat Pump installation. Call City Suburban today at 315-853-3899 or go online to citysuburban.com. That's citysuburban.com.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, in studio right now, it's the Keeler Father O'Brien show. Father Sean O'Brien in studio with us. All right, you might have a connection to the former mayor. Online right now is former mayor, Ilion Mayor, Brian Lamica. Brian, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. And Father, you say there may be a connection here.
I'm not sure. So my mom is Donna, and she was a barber at the Naval Air Station in Pensacola, Florida. And there was a guy from Ilion. I don't know if he was in the reserves or if he was just visiting. He was either on city council or he was the mayor or somebody. Came in for his haircut, and they got to talking. And my mom said, "Hey, I met a guy from Ilion, New York."
Yeah.
And because I went to school in Herkimer. So when she found out he was from there,
the connection.
Yep. Yeah. So it was. Oh, she's been retired a bit. I'm going to go back about 8 years or more.
Brian, any connection there?
No, I haven't been to Pensacola for a haircut, although it sounds good in January.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Well, maybe somebody listening knows who it is.
Well, it might be the case. All right, Brian, if you would, you were not going to run, and now you've decided to run. And a write-in campaign, which is now underway. Election day is Tuesday. Don't be confused. Early voting starts for everything else tomorrow. But village elections are Tuesday. What are your thoughts? What made you come back in, Brian?
The misinformation that was being let out there, total misinformation, and then people putting words in my mouth. Accuse me of saying this or saying that, or I'm in favor of one thing or another. And it just got to the point, for a while I was correcting people in their comments online, and finally I said, I'm not going to do this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You want to be transparent, be transparent. But when you're just spreading things out there that aren't true, we have enough of that in today's world.
Yeah.
When it comes to our local village elections, let's clean it up.
Okay.
I'm going to step forward.
So stepping forward, you're asking for people to write your name in on Tuesday, and I want to ask you, is this all to do with the former Remington facility?
On my part, not completely. No.
Okay.
The thing is, what people don't understand is I'm not in favor of the data center being put in the middle of town. When I was mayor, we had a small operation mining Bitcoin here in the village. When the village board became aware of it, we actually acted and put a moratorium on Bitcoin mining in the village because of the high electricity usage in the system. I mean, there was a big spike in the system, and we had to investigate why. And it was this Bitcoin operation. It's since left town. So I'm not for anything like that right there. It's going to present a danger or not benefit our village.
There are, I think we heard from Mayor Stevens, who said that at this point it's something that was a possibility. It was thrown out as an option, but that there is no plan to move forward. Do you think that's not true?
There's some documentation out there that's pointing otherwise, but I don't know. I wasn't privy to any meetings or anything like that. You try to trust your local politicians and whatever, but the documentation that's circulating is saying something different.
Okay.
So I don't know what to believe.
I want to bring in Chuck Lester, and Chuck, you were on the you were on the council when. What's that?
It's called the village board.
I know. I knew I was screwing that up. Everybody calls it something differently. It drives me nuts. The village board in Ilion, and as a board member, you have now decided to get back into the race and participate in a write-in campaign for Tuesday.
Yeah, I thought there was only one other person running for trustee. I figured, what the heck, I might as well throw my name out there. I've run several times as a write-in, and each time as my write-in, I've been the most of my running mates as a write-in. I got the most votes. Didn't get the most votes to get in. And I'm very proud of the fact that, when I served with Brian and the other trustees, Bridget McKinley, Joni Moore, Ron Schoonmaker, and then Dave Ferdula and Mike Emrich, that we had a very diverse group of people that just, put everything aside and put the pedal to the metal and got done as much as we possibly could for the village in a fiscally responsible manner. And that's all my goal is now. If I could get back in keep the momentum going, work with whoever's there, have disagreements, but always throw the cards on the table at the end of the day and come up with a solution. And that's what I'm proud of the 4 years that I had with Brian as the mayor. And I think we accomplished a lot. And I think we could get going again to accomplish more.
All right. And now the other day we had you on, and it seemed like you had made amends with current Mayor John Stevens. Has that changed since then? And are you now supporting Brian for?
Well, this is really strange. John Stevens and I are kind of shirt-tail relatives anyway, and he claimed he's known me since birth, and I think that's true. I played hockey with his father for since the dawn of time. But anyway, the idea is that John and I have agreed to have disagreements, and he's the mayor. I've got nothing personal against him at all. There's no animosity between us. It's funny because him and his wife and Brian and his wife talked me into running in 2018. Yeah. I absolutely did not want to do it. They had a meeting at the public library, talked me into doing it. And then we had the big blowout towards the end of my term. And, John and I we really didn't talk. Yeah. So I think it was kind of just the what do you call it, the cone of silence, like they used to have in Get Smart. And we didn't speak. And I was going to work one day. I saw him out front. I swung by and talked. There's no axes to grind. There's no animosity. We're both headstrong people. I think John wants to do the best for the village. I think I want to do the best for the village. Brian wants to do the best for the village. Let's just let the cards fall where they may.
Do you agree that this data center that is being talked about? I mean, this is really everywhere in Ilion right now. It's a big, big issue. And do you agree that there's something going on and you're being told there isn't?
I am completely in the dark about that. Me and technology are not good.
Okay.
But I would say that I'd be open-minded to just about anything. But if all the stuff that I'm hearing about a data center are true, then I absolutely would not want it to be in downtown Ilion. I would love to see some sort of real development go on there that was beneficial economically and aesthetically to the village. But we tried with Duofold and we come up empty. I guess there's something going on down there now, which at least we bought the damn thing and got it back in village possession so that we could do something with it.
All right.
And the same thing with Remington Arms. I'd like to see something other than a data center there.
And you're asking for people to write your name in Lester on Tuesday for trustee.
Yeah, you can. I've got several versions of my name: Charles T. Lester, Charles Lester, and Chuck Lester. So
right.
There's some other things I've been called, but I don't think they'd be acceptable.
It may have been during disputes between me and you at times. I apologize.
Come on, I love you, man.
We're all good.
You got that right.
We're all good. All right, Chuck. Good luck. Good luck on Tuesday, and thanks.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
God bless America.
And Brian, I want to bring you in. LAMICA. Is that correct?
That's correct, Bill.
Okay. Because the spelling, I believe, is important when it comes to a write-in candidate. And one final plea for you to give to the voters of Ilion on why they should really take that extra step to write your name in on Tuesday.
There's a lot more going on in the village. The big thing right now is the whole data center operation. There are a lot of other things that are going on too that we can't lose sight of. Everything from our veterans being honored with the banners in town, or the seniors in the high school. There's ways that we can change things to make sure that those banners go up. Our veterans certainly deserve the recognition, and to leave the kids that are maybe going off to college or into other areas with a positive mindset. Hey, look what they did for me back home. Not going to another community and seeing these banners hanging and saying, "Hey, how come our town didn't do that for us?"
All right.
My granddaughter, one of my granddaughters just graduated from CVA this year, and I'm going to Mohawk to check out the banner over there. I mean, those are just seem minor things to some people, but they're big things to others.
I guess I did not realize that wasn't being done in Ilion.
Yeah, We just went out for ice. My wife and I I've been going on this like ice cream tour type thing. Different nights it's nice, and we hit different places up. It's like every community we go to has got veterans banners hanging from the poles, and others have veterans and seniors, hanging from the poles. It just, I don't know, there's no community spirit here.
Yeah.
And I mean, the current board has got their reasons, I guess, why they don't feel it can be done, and it's whatever. But we need to figure out a way that we can do that.
All right.
And there's other things too, as far as budget wise and whatever. People are complaining about the paving. I was asked the other day on another station about the paving project. The current board is doing exactly what was set in motion to be done 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was, once the water project is completed, we'll pave the streets then, rather than paving one street at a time as it gets done.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have to go back, like for lead services or whatever, you're turning the road back up again. I mean, how often does the road just get paved and National Grid comes in and digs it up?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, people are wondering why I dropped out to begin with, Bill, and why I suspended my campaign.
Yes. Go ahead. I wanted to address that.
And I figured you did. I talked to you enough. I think I get that. And I was late last year, early this spring, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And like anybody else, when you receive bad news like that right there, it kind of hits you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've learned, and after being married, my wife for a number of years been married, she said to me one day, she says, Brian, you may have Parkinson's, but don't let it get to you.
Yeah.
And I said, you're right. I may have Parkinson's, but, Parkinson's doesn't have me. So this is kind of a twofold thing, I guess. It's running to get back in there and run for mayor and the misinformation and whatever is out there. But the other thing is to bring to everybody's attention the fact there's a lot of people in our area living with Parkinson's. Doesn't mean their life is over. It means that now it's time we have to step up the game because we have to stay more active.
It's just another obstacle that you will deal with and you will be successful with. That's how I like to look at it. So.
Absolutely. And just a reminder too, Bill, when I was mayor the last time, almost 2 years of my term, we got through COVID. And it was under my direction and under our board's direction, we got our village employees in the village through COVID. And that was not an easy thing.
Yeah.
As far as like our meetings and we use Zoom to have our board meetings out there for transparency purposes and to allow people to attend. The address was put out there prior to every meeting, and yet we'd only have one or two people, if that, sometimes on Zoom. Considering we only had like a couple of laptops at the time to be able to sign in, it was a difficult thing.
Yeah.
But we put it out there, and so there were a lot of things that we're not getting credit for over those 4 years. And I worked. Chuck Lester just said it. We worked with some great people and across the board.
Yep.
And as far as working across the board, I remember the cold January day we had a water main break on Behringer Road here in Ilion. And lo and behold, Governor Cuomo showed up at our doorstep here in town. I was able to sit across the table with him in my office for almost an hour, and walked away with close to $3 million because of that one meeting to bring the water project together for the well water in the north end of town, to actually put a pipeline up to and a water main up to our water treatment plant to have the water come back into the village the way it naturally has had for years, and that reduced the number of water main breaks we had tremendously.
Yeah. All right, you're asking for people to write in your name on Tuesday. We'll see where this goes.
Okay, noon to 9.
Brian, noon until 9 Tuesday. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill. Have a good day.
Good luck out there. Brian Lamica running for mayor of Ilion. All right, Father Sean, you doing okay over there? You want to give a quick forecast?
Oh,
people are asking, like, what's the weather going? What is the weather going to be like?
Well, I know it's going to be hot and humid today, and I didn't get a printout because I didn't realize I was doing the weather. So,
here's what our meteorologist is saying is that we may be looking at some maybe an isolated tornado Some pretty tough storms today.
Oh, I didn't hear. I got thunderstorms. So if our radio listeners would like to turn their phones on and follow along.
Follow along. That's where you're getting it.
That's right. Mid 80s today and high upper 50s tonight with some thunderstorms. That's right. Tomorrow looks pretty good, though. Tomorrow's going to be in the lower 80s and mostly sunny. And then Monday and Tuesday look good. But Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there's going to be a good chance of rain every day. So keep that raincoat or umbrella handy. You just might need it. And hope to God that I'm wrong and it's sunny every day.
Well, let's hope you're wrong.
There's
All
your...
right. I want to bring in Michael Mott is a musician from New Hartford who is now in New York City and has done some really, really big things and is on the line with us right now. Mike, good morning. You have a brand new album coming up.
Hey, Bill. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
Good. So tell us about your album that I believe today is, if you see my brother today, Brian, today is his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Brian.
I believe June 12th is the date your album comes out as well.
Yes, I have a new, it's just a single. It's one song. But I have a brand new song called One Song Together that drops today. It's on all streaming platforms. And I've been putting out a string of singles over the last year. And this is the latest.
Tell us about the song and about the inspiration and the other things that you're doing right now in your career.
Definitely. So my career is kind of multifaceted. I mainly write musicals, and I have a bunch of albums. And I've started to get a lot of songs placed on Netflix shows. So I currently have Love is Blind, Owning Manhattan, Temptation Island, both seasons. If people tune into those, they can hear my songs. And that's kind of catapulted my catalog of music in the pop realm. So I've been writing new songs and putting out songs that could be put on television shows. That's been my mentality lately. Cool. So this brand new song is called One Song Together, and it's meant to be fun for the summer. It's meant to be lighthearted, breezy. It's about the moment you see someone and you want to dance, but you don't want to ask them for a lifetime. Just one song together.
Yeah. All right. I like that.
Right.
I believe my wife has that sentiment. She blew it 27 years ago.
College days returned.
It is college days
returned.
I'm so out of touch. What's on the B-side?
Oh, there is no B-side.
No, it's not a 45 then.
That's the next song is called There Is No B-Side.
There is no B-side. I like it. All right, we're going to play a little of this. And, of course, if you and I just searched now just to see if it was coming up on my my iTunes, Apple Music. And sure enough, there it is. Michael Mott, One Song Together, is there. Anything else? And the fact that you're doing stuff on these TV shows, sounds like it's created a whole different revenue stream for you.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I mean, the dream has always been to write theater, and I never did it for the awards or the acclaim or the prestige. I did it because I love making music, and the joy of creating is, I can't describe it.
Yeah.
And then I became a member of the Recording Academy, and then an album I sang on got nominated for a Grammy last year. And so I found myself at the Grammy Awards earlier this year. Wow. And it's just the music has had the ability to take me to places that I never even knew I could dream of. My dream was to write theater, to make music and write Broadway shows. And now it suddenly has taken all these other pathways that it's just beautiful. So the television shows have been a completely unexpected gift, and it allows a larger audience to hear my work.
Yeah. So, all right, very cool. So they'll be able to watch Netflix, and you never know.
It's exciting.
There's Michael Mott. Pretty wild. I'm going to play it. This is called One Song Together by Michael Mott. Mike, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the platform always.
All right, thank you. From New Hartford, he's an unbelievably talented musician. Father Sean, thank you. I appreciate you coming in here.
Thanks for having me in today.
Disco balls and neon lights, vodka shots and endless nights. You don't It's just one song. It's just one song. At the second verse now, you can be my right now. Pull me closer into your arms. Let me taste your sweetness. Didn't know I need this. Let me feel the beat of your heart. Oh, disco balls and neon lights, vodka shots and endless nights. You don't have to take me home with you. So baby, dance with me. I'll be your ecstasy. It don't have to last forever. We'll share one song together. No wedding band. There ain't no one night stand. It don't have to last forever. It's just one song together. It's just one song. It's just one song.
Hey, Utica and the Mohawk Valley, could you use some extra cash for summer? Do you need a new bed? Come to upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Get a $300 prepaid Visa card on Simmons Beauty Rest Black King and Queen sets and Tempur-Pedic King and Queen sets. How about a $1,000 prepaid Visa card on the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort? That's the bed that gets soft and firm on each side with the touch of a button. The Flex Set option in King or Queen and a 25-year industry-leading warranty. How would you pay for it? How about no money down with up to 5 years to pay for qualified buyers? No credit check payment plans available every day. How about a massage chair? Get a $500 prepaid Visa card on a massage chair. Stores in New Hartford on Commercial Drive, in Rome on Black River Boulevard. That's right, in Oneida in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theater. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800.
WIBX Utica Rome, W295 Utica.
From the WB Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
It's not a done deal. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's the word today from Iran, though its foreign ministry does say terms are mostly finalized in an agreement with the U.S. President Trump says there is a deal to end the war.
And most importantly, we have a deal that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon.
But the conflict isn't quite over. Fox Business's Max Gordon reports from Dubai.
U.S. forces reported shooting down 2 Iranian attack drones that were attempting to strike commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. This after President Trump canceled strikes on Iran last night. President Trump also says that a memorandum of understanding between the United States and Iran could be signed in the next couple of days.
Oil will start coming down to, I think, even lower than it was before.
Oil prices are down almost 3% this morning. WTI about $85 a barrel. That's still $20 higher than before the conflict started. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising on hopes of a deal. The day after a market surge, the Dow gained more than 900 points, getting back Wednesday's big losses. And one stock could blast off at the opening bell in a half hour when SpaceX starts trading in the biggest initial public offering ever.
$75 billion worth of shares. We're expecting a share price of $135.
Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis.
If all goes according to plan, CEO Elon Musk could become the world's first trillionaire. In addition, and this is important, some 4,000 employees will become millionaires, at least on paper, due to their stock options.
That's Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis. An update on the search for Nancy Guthrie more than 3 months after she disappeared in Arizona.
A federal law enforcement source telling Fox News that Nancy Guthrie is still missing after an anonymous tip sparked a massive search in Mexico. The tip claimed that Nancy was in a shallow grave in Nogales.
That's Fox's Carly Shimkus, but there was no body found in that search. America's listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-809-7171. That's 800-809-7171.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
Meet Anthony Constantino, running to represent us in Congress.
First off, you, I see through your game.
Wannabe rapper.